Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
So Tuesday, yeah, it's Tuesday. Sorry, yeah, happy Tuesday.
I don't think you're happy about it. I can't blame. I can't blame her a bit for that. She got to go back to work tonight.
Yeah, 8:30 this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's basically switched to where last week it was 11 for 2 days, and then for 3 days it was 8:30 to 8:30 to 5:30. Now it's 3 at 8:30 to 5:30 and to 11 to 5:30.
Oh gosh.
So it's an early day today, and I have to do donuts because the girl that's been doing donuts for me, she's not going to be there tonight.
Oh.
So.
Dang it.
I know. Tell me about it.
Well, good morning, Jim Cooncat, Craig Murray, Beth C, Miss Tiffany. You're getting to be the regular around here, Miss Tiffany. Silver Hair Stacker, Chicken Fried Steak, Mr. Tim of Tempe, and Miss Sherry. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day. And I know sometimes it's a little too early to tell, but we just do the best we can, right? Time to make the donuts. Nope, that's tonight. I guess in a different way, I guess you could say. Yes.
Yeah, you guys are making the donuts today.
There you go.
And I'm making the donuts today. And then I'm making them again tonight.
Oh. Well, how did everybody's sales turn out for the weekend? I was surprisingly disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I got sales, but I mean, I thought it'd pretty much be like a blowout.
Oh.
But, yeah.
No, people are going to be out grilling and, you know, I mean, they may do a little shopping on the side, but, you know, it's going to be, I had 3 sales yesterday.
Well, that's good. I mean, I guess I can't complain, you know, because I did get sales. I think the total for the weekend was it was nine sales, and all but one had paid. So
all of mine were really good at paying. It was like the sale would come in, then they'd pay. So it'd come in and they'd pay. I was happy about that. This morning I was just separating toys. I got a box of toys, and there's some good ones in there. There's some more preferable ones. There's some fairy toys that they light up. They turn a certain color. They're called light sprites.
huh.
And they're fairies, and there's a tree swing on the tree or whatever. And the thing is there's a wand, and it can change the color of the fairy. Like it has a light inside of it that is flashing a certain color, and then I have like 4 that are all different colors. But then if you use the wand on them, they'll flash the same color.
Huh.
it's like they connect with that wand. So
Right. That's
kind of a cool
interesting.
thing. The tree itself, I can probably the tree and the wand. I'm thinking I can get about 35 out of. That's what it looks like, anyways. And then the fairy itself, I can get probably 9 out of with free shipping.
Nice.
You need to get some other headphones.
Why, if you can't hear me?
No, but I'm just saying, with that killing your ears and
Oh,
stuff. And
yeah, it almost, I don't want to say mutilates them, but like after the show, they are so sore. My
oh, I bet.
earlobes.
I bet. I mean, these that go over your ears, I like these because they don't hurt your ears like that. Those ones, they don't even stay in my ears. They just fall right out.
Yeah.
My ear holes are too big for them or something.
Thank goodness I have the little thing that goes over the ear, or my
Mm, yeah.
I think I'm just deformed. But I had I had a pair that would just it basically was an earphone, and it would sit on your ear, and it had the little thing that go over your ear, and
Mm-hmm.
I love those, but I can't find them anywhere.
Oh.
So,
The other Jason says, did everybody use Markdown Manager this weekend? I didn't. Thought that might be why sales are so slow. I used it all weekend.
yeah.
I had sales going all weekend, and um, Tim says since I just started back, I was happy, but I had one guy, Alberta, Canada, willing to pay $45 priority. Had to get him shipping a 10-pound item he is bidding on now. If not, said he'd need an agent. Eh, that sounds like a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
I That's why I do just global shipping program, and then I don't have to worry about any of that.
Yep.
If they don't like the price, then they could just not buy it.
I can go get it somewhere else. I mean, that's a horrible way to say it, but
Right.
I
But
I
I'd rather not have that stress.
yeah, that's exactly right. Good morning, Miss Tracy.
Thelma Thrift says, I did. eBay had a glitch listing from my phone last night, though I kept losing drafts.
Huh.
That's not good.
No.
I was taking pictures this morning. I listed like 11 items this morning, and I would go through, pick a draft to take pictures of, and I take pictures of it, and then after I went back to I would push the back button to go back to the selling page, and my drafts wouldn't be there. So I'd
Hmm.
have to go home and then selling again, and then after that refresh, then my drafts would be there again.
Wow.
So I don't think
Yeah.
they're actually gone. Maybe they're just being hidden from you. They're just stupid sometimes.
Sometimes I noticed that when when I was on the eBay app, and I would go down to where the drafts are,
Mm-hmm.
and you I noticed that my drafts sometimes weren't there, so I just refreshed it where the little circle goes around, and then
Yeah.
they would eventually come back up.
Right.
But it's just another step that you have to go through, and that just prolongs the whole process because you're so used to doing it one way.
Yeah, I was trying to refresh it that way with the little circle and everything coming down. I was trying to do it that way and it wouldn't do it for me.
Huh.
So I had to actually push the back button, go back to the home page, then go back to the selling page. And then yeah. And then after probably 20 seconds, it was there again. So
Right.
it was just being stupid.
Hmm. That's not good. Good morning.
Yeah. I mean, Tim, some of that stuff you can just take a lot of the worry out of, I mean, if you're not worried about it, especially with Canada customers or Canadian customers, with them having to find a agent and all of that to go through, you know because of price and stuff, it just seems like it's, and I still sell stuff to Canada.
Right.
I still sell stuff everywhere. So it doesn't matter if they want it bad enough, they'll pay the global shipping price. And then you
See
won't have
that?
to worry about any of that crap,
Right.
you know?
And they won't have to worry about any of that crap.
Yeah, right.
Trying to get a, to me, it's, if I can afford it, it's worth paying the money, to not have to worry about stuff like that. You pay the money so you can get the package.
Right.
So,
I'm not really sure what you're asking, Tim. He says, how long before your limit amount of items per month to sell or dollar amount is dropped? It says you can ask what's the best policy. For me now, it says 10 per month or $1,000. Are you just starting out or get it?
that's me.
Get it.
Cha-ching.
No, I'm just wondering if Tim's just starting out or if maybe he got
It sounds like he's just starting. Morning, Miss Robin, Miss Megan. Hey, are you all related? Robin and Megan, are you all related? I'm kind of thinking that you are, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know. They said one time that they were twins or something, but then um it was just because they were doing something the same or something like that. Tim just says he just started back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
every month or even twice a month, see if they will increase your listings or your amount.
yeah.
Um, they say that they will only increase it once a month, but I've had them do it to where they've increased it twice a month. So if you just stay on it and make sure that the only thing that they really look for is whenever you have, like, say you can list 10 items a month, um, you have at least 5 listed. You have at least half of what your limit is listed. Because if you don't, then they will say, why don't you call back whenever you have half of what we give you listed?
Right.
So,
Yeah. When I started, I would try to get, as much listed as I can, or as I could. Um, and if I did that in a week, then usually I'd call them every week to see if they would increase. And I get, sometimes they would say, no, you need to, work on your listings a little bit more. But then for the most part, they pretty much increased my levels with no question. Um,
yeah.
they did ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
They did ask, where are you getting your merchandise? What are you selling? They'd look at all of your items. Well, you're selling, clothes for the most part. Um, where are you getting your items? How often do you list? Just a couple of little questions, and then I guess from that they make their determination. But
Yeah.
I would say for the most part, most people get approved.
Yeah, and I was on suspension or probation or whatever you want to call it at one time, and so I had to work my way back from listing 10 items a month. And that was hard because with 10 items, you're not giving anybody a chance to see anything that you have, especially if you have all this inventory. So it's really hard to put only 10, but just look for your best items that you can sell really quickly, and that you're not going to be wasting a listing on, for your month, You want to make sure that it's something that you know that can sell. Make sure your price is right. Make sure that your all your item specifics are all filled out and it's
Yeah.
correct.
And another thing is, um, buy, I know sometimes it's hard to buy stuff, especially if you don't have, the money or the income to do that. But, if there's anything that you need, um, look for it on eBay, and, buy little things on eBay, for feedback builders. That, that's a great way to build up your feedback.
Yeah,
Um, besides just having, customers, you can also
yeah,
build that up with, buying stuff.
right.
And so that does something. So, but, I mean, I guess, Friday was a okay day. Saturday, I didn't get anything.
Yeah,
And
me
then
neither.
Sunday was, I got a few, and then Monday wasn't too bad. So not too not too horrible.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is that you were listing, so there wasn't any reason for it not to be really good sales.
Right. Yeah.
For me, I was like, well, I haven't listed anything since the beginning of this week, so that's why you're not getting anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, there's the reason right there. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I got 5 on Sunday, and I'm like, wow, where
Yeah.
did that come from?
Yeah.
But then I had deleted 70 items out of my store to because I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm sick of wasting a listing on it. And so I'm gonna get it out of my store. It's not, obviously it's not selling. I mess with the price, and mess with how it's listed and everything like that. So it's time to move on,
Yeah.
get it out of there. And but so that's why I was getting those sales was because of my activity.
Right. And I think a lot of times, I think it's not, you don't have to have, I mean, you should be listing every day, but I think it's just the activity on your store, whether you're going in, you're revising listings, you're, taking new pictures, um, just really anything that you're going on, your markdown manager, and you're using that. I use that every day.
Yeah,
I use my markdown manager, and I don't put, a specific amount of time. I do one day, like 24 hours. But that's just something that I do. And then they're not big sales. They're like, 3%, 5%, 7%. Um, and I do pretty well with
yeah,
that. I think that gives you that extra little boost that Dusty's always talking about.
right.
So,
The other Jason asked if I didn't want to just send them to auction. Um, I I've messed with auction before. I do auctions quite frequently, actually. Um, on certain items, that I'm not sure of the price, not sure of the starting price for them, um, stuff like that. Or if I have it on fixed listing for a while, and some items just sell better on auction.
yeah,
It's just how it is. Some people don't want to think of it like that, but that's just how it is. If you're looking up a certain item on eBay and you go to your solds, you're looking at, the prices that it sold for. Make sure that you're looking at how many are going for auction and how many are selling on auction, how many are selling for fixed price. Because that, for some reason there's certain items that all of them will like sell on auction or all of them will sell on fixed. and then there's some that are mixed.
Right.
So you just want to make sure that you're looking at that. Um, yeah, I've messed with, everything that I deleted was stuff that I put on auction before. I put it on fixed price. I messed with the starting price or the fixed price, and so it's not that. It's just an unwanted item, I guess, or something that nobody's looked for yet. But it's had its time. It's had its time in my store, and now it's being evicted. So, yeah, I actually have very few fixed listings left. Well, maybe not very few, but I have I usually run out. Like Todd says, Silver Hair Stacker says that he ran out of his free ones on Friday and had to spend another $10 to get everything relisted. I have 77 left. And I have 4 that are ending today. So, and that's not counting what's going to end tomorrow. So, I'm probably going to have to spend some money on, getting them all relisted.
Yeah.
Unless, and sometimes, at that point, I will start changing stuff over to auction if I have more auctions left over, and switch it up a little bit. I'll do that sometimes.
Yeah. And
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 I don't think it's completely bad.
yeah, and it's so close to the end of the month. We only have 2 more days, and it'll be June 1st.
Hmm.
So, really, if you wanted to, you could just hold on to those,
Hmm.
and wait
I
until
don't really
Christmas.
not like, I don't really like them being in my unsolds. I don't like to just like keep things there.
Right. Right.
I guess I could, pick out the good ones or whatever, pick out the good stuff and, do it that way.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Where'd all that chat go? Everybody just decided to write it once or what? It just went.
Silver Hair Stacker says I'm gonna have to make some of mine 30-day listings instead of 10
Yeah.
because are long tail anyway. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you got to play with it like that just to make your ends meet, And, if it's too expensive for you to relist, and you can't afford, doing it without your free listings, then that's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Thelma Thrift asked, how long does eBay keep your items unsold?
As far as I know, it stays there.
I don't think they go away.
I don't think so either, unless there's like a glitch or something and eBay eats them.
That that's always a possibility because we know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's something to be aware of. I'm just saying, if it was just for a couple of days. Now, me, I would rather just get them out, and so I'll spend, the extra money to go ahead and relist them. Um, Jason said 180 days, 6 months. That could very well be. I don't know. Um,
I
again,
wouldn't suggest anybody to do that. That's a good way to start duplicating and stuff like that.
true, true.
You have to really watch doing stuff like that because with all these new glitches and everything, and then if you don't get those out of there, I mean, if you're relisting some of them and
Hmm.
then not some of them, then you would have to go. I don't know. It works differently for some people because mine don't. Like whenever I go to relist from my unsolds, it does not delete them
Right.
automatically. Some people it deletes them. I have to go in manually and delete them and, say, okay, they're not going to be relisted again because they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's just the thing. You don't want to keep your items in, a certain folder or, for a certain amount of time or anything like I mean, you don't want to give it any reason to disappear. Um, if you can help it, because it just brings a lot of, extra work for you. And we don't want that. We don't want extra work.
Thelma Thrift says, thanks, Jason. I'm glad I finally got a store because the other venue obliterated them quick.
Wow.
Well, it's good that you got a store.
Yeah. I think having a store, that gives you a lot of advantages, a lot of, um, ways that you can, I don't know, it just seems to get you out there a little bit more and you're eligible for, things. So I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Grandma Wrinkle says, if I relist or sell similar, I delete them so I don't accidentally duplicate them. Yeah, that's the same thing
Mm-hmm.
that I do because I have duplicated them before, and that's not fun to have to go in and
Me too.
have to go back in and delete them. I mean, that just brings a bunch of, unwanted stress, and so
Yeah, and we've heard that people accidentally did that and got either suspended or
yeah,
probation or completely kicked off.
right,
And that would suck to be completely kicked off for that reason.
yeah. I know that the last time that happened, I was kind of, I was worried about getting, suspended or whatever. And I called eBay right away and I said, look, I've got, it was something like 15 um, duplicated listings. And I was like, look, I'm working on these right now. Just to let you know, I'm not going to, I don't want to be suspended or anything. So,
Mm-hmm.
just let you know it was my mistake. I'm taking care of it, and maybe that was a needed call, but it was, hey, I have to protect myself because this is my income. This is my way that I make my income. So, you know, I got to protect it.
Craig Murray, um, well, Silver Hair Stacker said to change a silver wing jeans. Craig Murray says now you have room to list one more item. No, he doesn't. Because if he already used all of his listings, that goes for listed and sold.
Yeah.
So if if you sell something, it doesn't free up one of those
Nope.
listings.
No.
I know this because I I used to think that too.
Right.
I had to change my way of thinking because it's not right.
Right.
That's not how they do it. And it says right on there. It says listed. What I want to make sure I get it right. I think it says listed or sold. Um, that's what it says. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get to my dashboard part. Oh, where that's at? Where'd it go?
Mhm.
Oh, I can't find
There
it
it is.
now. Well, dang it. Where did it go?
So I had the last time I went to a thrift store, I picked up uh I want to say it was probably about 6 or 7 ties. I do tie, I deal with ties, I dabble in ties, but have never really, I mean, I base it on content matter, rather than, because I don't really know a lot of the brands that, are good sellers. So, the last time I went to the thrift store, I found a Burberry, which I was like, oh my God, that's my, I was freaking out. So I found the Burberry, and then I found about six Giorgio Armani. Um, so I was like, okay. Checked them, made sure that there was no, problems or issues with them. The Burberry I sold for $45. I paid 75 cents for it. Um, the Giorgio Armani, um, I actually have those listed for 15.99. Um, and that might be a little bit low. I've sold two so far. So, but I mean, they're selling, and 15.99 when you spend 75 cents, that's a pretty good return.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not gonna, if
Don't
I'm,
get greedy.
yeah, if I'm selling them, it must be a pretty good price. I don't feel like, I'm leaving any money on the table. And I don't feel like that I'm getting, greedy or anything. So 15.99, that, seems like it's working. So I
Yeah.
think I'll probably just leave. But that's a great return. Even the 15.99, that's a great return for 75 cents. And
Right.
so always keep your eye open. I always look for ties. But I look for the, like the subject matter. There's some funny ties out there. There's, you know, I think people that wear suits and, um, you know, dressed up shirts and stuff like that. I mean, I think they look for, some way to express their humor, or, you know, they have to have something funny in the day, or, something that portrays their personality or whatever.
Mhm.
And so I think that's a great way to do that. Um, and so I always look for, like, there's a Smithsonian that I have. And it has astronauts and, space craft and stuff on there. And I think that's awesome. It hasn't sold yet, but I just put them
Yeah.
on there, and
It will.
eventually somebody will come across it and say, "That is mine. I have to have that."
Yeah.
So, but just a little blurb on ties.
The other Jason says I shy away from watches and purses due to being afraid of counterfeits. Do you all worry about that? Um, if you would familiar familiarize yourself with, some of the things that they look for in counterfeits, you wouldn't be afraid of it. There's certain things that, like, with the fabric and the leather patches and stuff like that, that there's certain things that they look for in counterfeits. And if, just like Valerie, she got to the point to where she was, she could tell you if it was, pretty much counterfeit or real.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things, and the way that I found that out is I watched videos. You know,
Mhm.
I watched videos on, how to authenticate a purse, or a certain brand, and there's certain things about that. Each brand, like, the Coach or the Chanel or even the Dooney Burke or whatever, there's certain things to look out for, and keep your eye out for. And if I have any, and I'm a big person as far as instinct, I go with my gut. And so if I'm looking at something and I say, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't, that's the thing, is I don't want to lose my store because I'm listing, a fake item. I want it to
Yeah.
be, the real thing. So I'm not going to give that up for, for a Coach purse that I think I can make, you know, $50 off of.
Yeah.
So you just have to, go with your gut. Let's see. I always wonder why the counterfeiters don't watch those videos and fix the product. Maybe they don't speak it. You know, I don't know. I think they can. They probably get more past um, than you know. I I just I don't think it's an issue for them. Um, yeah, if they did, they couldn't sell them as cheap, and you get what you paid for. That's very true.
Yeah.
Um,
The
yeah,
workmanship is going to be different because in a they're not in the same factory as the ones that are making the real ones,
yeah,
and they're not using the same kind of fabric, that quality of fabric. They're not
right,
using the same kind of thread even. um, so all of that stuff is going to look cheaper.
right. Even just the stitching, you know, or with the way the fabric lays, or but
Hmm.
YouTube is a fabulous tool for that.
Yeah.
Um, and there's also, if that's something that you want to get into, there's Facebook groups that authenticate. They help you authenticate the purses or wallets and stuff like that. You just have to do research.
And
And
if you have a lot of that stuff available, to you for good amount, like if you can get it for cheap, then it would be worth it. A lot of that stuff sells for a lot of money.
right,
So if it's worth it to you to learn about it, then why not? And watching YouTube videos, you already do that, so
right.
you might as well, learn something new for the day.
Yeah, put it on your list of things to do.
Hmm.
I am. I usually, actually today I haven't made one out, but this is my list.
You gotta call the eye doctor.
I did. Oh, I did already. I was just trying to
Oh,
find out a price.
better cross that off.
I know, huh?
I
I'm
do not
making.
have a list.
Oh my gosh, I'm so horrible.
I do not have a list of things to do because then I would procrastinate about finishing everything on my list and I would get nothing done.
But you know what is good is I put. There's some things that are more important than others. And so I put a lot of those priorities on the high part of the list. And then the other things that I, just want to get done, but it's not like life threatening or, um, it can be done anytime. Those are the things that are lower on the list. And, that seems to, and I make a list every day. And then I lose my list. Well, yeah, I keep my list on my desk. That way it doesn't get lost.
I am
Because if I left
awful
it,
with lists. If I even have a grocery list, I will go to the store and leave it at home, which I used to not do that. I used to be able to, you know, keep track of it, put it in my purse right away, and so I don't leave it home. Or I used to have it with all my coupons or whatever. But now it's like I don't even hardly go grocery shopping anymore. I send my husband. Just
uh,
easier on everybody.
yep. Tim says, yep. Tim says he has a Harley blouse from Vegas for women that has a tie string halfway down the middle, crisscross with spaghetti straps. What kind of
It's a
blouse do you call
laced.
it? It almost sounds like maybe a corset. It says it's crisscross.
Yeah, but if it's only halfway down, it sounds like a laced blouse.
Yeah,
Basically, that's
or a top, or if
yeah,
it's spaghetti straps, it could be like a cami or a tank
or a
top.
tank top. Yeah.
There's a lot of, we're difficult, we're
Post
complex
it in
beings.
post it in the group and we'll let you know.
Yeah, put a
What
picture
are
in
we'll give you
thrifty.
some
Yeah,
we'll give you some title title words for it.
some keywords.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I can't
Halter.
talk today.
Well, the halter is going
Um,
to go up around the neck.
yeah, Valerie taught me
Uh,
that.
the other Jason says it's called a slutty blouse.
Here's a blouse for your hooker.
Tim, you would actually put the picture in the Thrifting Bitches reselling, or yeah, that'd be the only one I think.
Yeah, I would just put it there. Don't put it in Dusty's group
No,
unless you ask him first.
yeah. Silver Hair Stacker, I am almost at 1,000 positive feedback. Does anything good happen when I get there? Yes, you get this big celebration from eBay, and they come and knock on your door and they give you this big old check, and
Amazing.
yeah, they have balloons and some flowers, and not
In a
really,
car?
in a car. Wow,
That would be awesome.
that's funny.
I would should I take just the big check part? You don't have to
Yeah,
have that flowers and all. I can go buy my own flowers.
yeah. I wonder if people actually have got the check and actually took the check into the bank to cash that big
I
old check.
I don't know. If you send me a big check, I'm gonna try and take it to my bank. Is that not real? Like,
Mm-mm.
are you supposed to just get a little check after that?
Yeah, I think they just give you a little check.
Oh,
But the big check is just like a plaque, like
yeah.
an award, something on paper or whatever.
Yeah, you'd probably catch me trying to take that to my check and cash it.
Oh my
We're not mean, Todd.
god. Oh. Well, I'm at 800, so we'll hopefully maybe we'll get all that good stuff.
I'm only at 553.
553. That's good though.
Yeah.
Grandma Wrinkle says I got white go-go boots and a color block mini dress in the same day at the flea market and Goodwill. I can't wait to photograph them together. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Like Blackberry Thistle Tea says, that is groovy. Yeah.
Groovy, baby.
These boots are made for walking. That's
Oh,
so fun. Nikki, where are you? You haven't
I don't
even been
know.
talking.
I'm sorry, I'm right here. I
Are
hurt
you
my back yesterday, so I just been sitting here.
okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I just did too much yesterday, so
Mm, sorry.
just lounging around. I've been listening to you though.
Okay. Well, I wanted to check on you. Yeah, I hadn't heard nothing from you, so I
Shit,
want to
now
make sure
call
you're
Keenan.
okay.
Hold on a second.
What brand is Airwalk? The boots?
The
Because
brand.
I found
Airwalk?
the huh?
Like,
Did she say Airwalk?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Oh, I thought she said okay. Airwalk is a Payless brand.
Yeah.
Is it really? Are you still there, Valerie? Ah, crap. Valerie. Hello.
Sorry, a call had come through and screwed up my sound. What did you say?
Are you there, Val? Valerie.
Oh, looks like we might be having problems. Looks like Valerie might be having problems because I don't see her either or hear her.
I don't know. You jumped out and then she jumped out. And I was like, okay, something's happened. Hopefully she gets back in here in time. Yeah, it's been doing this glitchy crap. Google has. So hopefully the show doesn't end early. Valerie, you need to refresh because you're not in here. It's just showing you're present. Are you in here still, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So Valerie, just come back, refresh and come back in. Try to come in through your YouTube page. It's easier like that. Yesterday, I was hosting a show, and whenever it would kick me out, I would try to come back in through the link, and it was signing me in as a different person as like my other YouTube channels. It wasn't signing me in as Upside Down Picker. And so I'm like, well, this is crap. So I had to end up going through my YouTube page to get through to my Google.
Oh,
Yeah, back issues suck. And I was a CNA for a long time, and it killed my back. I'll never be able to do that kind of work again.
I don't usually have. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry.
That's all right.
I don't usually have back issues. I just overdid it yesterday with all the cooking and all the lifting
Yeah.
of the food and bringing it in and everything, and I just overdid it.
Right. Yeah. Did you refresh, Valerie? Because you're still not in here. I mean, I know it stays live for a little bit after you get kicked out, so hopefully she can get back in here and we can continue.
Yeah, how long does it stay alive for after she cooks out?
I'm not sure. I think Dusty said 15 minutes. But you never know. You never know if it's going to stay or if she's going to come back in and not be able to go through YouTube, and she'll come back in and it'll be sign her in and under a different name, and then it'll cancel it out anyways. Yeah, I like rubbing like muscle rub stuff on my back. It feels really good to me whenever I do that. But I have to rub it on my own back because my husband won't because it stinks.
Can't wash his hands or put rubber gloves on?
He won't. He doesn't want it anywhere near him.
Oh, God.
He says it stays in his nose.
I use that stuff on my knee, but at night, but I didn't put any on my back. I just take some ibuprofen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
feeling a lot better than it was yesterday. I'm just
that's good.
just needed to rest a little bit. I just overdid it.
Right.
I was going nonstop since like 4 o'clock yesterday morning, and I cooked all the food and got it all. Me and my husband got it all hauled in and everything, and I just overdid it.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while like that.
That was for your aunt's funeral?
Yeah, my husband's aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like a second mom to him. She didn't have any kids, but she was like a second mom to all the kids.
Yeah.
And she was kind of slow. So I mean, not like mentally challenged or anything, but she was a little slower than normal.
Yeah.
But she didn't comprehend everything all the time, or right away.
Right.
Anyways, she was just funny. I mean, just some of the things she said, or whatever. I mean, just so she was just funny all the time, just cute, like kid like.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty upsetting when you saw her. I mean, it was like seeing a little kid sitting there suffering, I just
Right.
because she was so kid like.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in a better place now.
Yeah, I still need to learn how to watermark my slides. I'm not super like scared of people stealing those, but there's some really good ones that I'm gonna put up that I'd rather I had watermarked than not. They're of they're of the skyline in New York in the 70s. So um it's got the Twin Towers in there. And Valerie, I see that you're taking your mute button on and off, but I still cannot see your face and
And we can't hear you.
can't hear you.
Is my sound okay with it off?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have my headphones on right now.
I have a thumper that my husband uses on me, get my knots out of my back and stuff. I love it.
I was gonna say, whoa, 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 Sally.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a different kind of thumper.
I have this thumper my husband uses on me. Yeah, and then we had to deliver all the cemetery baskets yesterday, and
Oh yeah. Jim Terra Carrie.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
hi Tara,
How you doing?
hi Jim. Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Man, I got a free golf cart yesterday, Nikki.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
did you see it? Oh, yeah. So I mean, Sally had that hangout
Yeah.
during the day, so I'm in that, and I feel really bad for Silver Hair Stacker because all of a sudden it's kind of funny. I wanted to link it to that video, or Jim tried.
I put it on ours. If you look at our
But
video,
anyway.
it's the link.
Yeah, this whole thing where you hear me like swear and tell my kid to get dressed, and then I don't know why. Whenever it's like we get excited about something, we all sound like a bunch of psychopaths or something because Jim starts yelling at us and stuff. It's not like we're mad at each other. We must get like overexcited or whatever. I mean, we sound like a bunch of nuts.
If you go to the upside down picker video where it says blah, sorry, and go to the 1 minute 29 minute mark or 1 hour 29 minute mark and start it there. Silver Hair's got this phone sitting there, a princess phone he's talking to Tara about, and all of a sudden Tara right out of blue goes, whoosh. You know, she starts swearing, and then I come in. I'm like, "When was it posted? When was it posted?" And no one will answer me, so I start yelling more. And our kid is like, "Oh no!" Go. He's like crying. It sounds like we're beating our kid.
That sounds hilarious.
It's the 1 hour 29 minute mark. Check it out.
All right, I gotta go watch after this. I gotta go watch. We lost Valerie, so I don't know how long this is gonna be live. She says she's still in. Last time I seen her, she said she's still in. Valerie, try to talk. Do you see her?
We just see her blue box.
I see your blue box.
Okay, yeah. It's not supposed to be like that though. It was fine, and then like something happened and Nikki jumped out and then Valerie jumped out, and then I was like, oh crap. It's gonna start this crap again.
That was like the hokey pokey.
I know.
The thing is, I hung up the call and came back because I had gotten a call on my phone, and it screwed up the sound. So I just hung up and came back. Come back.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I'm so surprised.
I'm back in black. No, I don't know.
I would be probably like that too, Tara, if I got a free golf cart.
Well, and there's a part where Jim's like, was it just posted? Well, now I'm totally going to lie because it was posted an hour ago, but I don't want to tell him that because I want him. It was like 5 minutes from our house. I don't want him to like, oh, it's probably gone already or whatever. So now we're driving with this trailer on the van. He's driving like he's driving NASCAR or something. I mean, 25 mile an hour. So we get back on this back road, and there's like another truck that gets by us. It's this subdivision development on a dirt road. They went one way. I go, well, go the other way. And we got to it first, But anyway, there's like this line of cars behind us, this stupid free golf cart. And Jim's like freaking out. He's like, no way, we're not going to make it. And we did, but anyway.
Oh my God.
It was fun, but it's always stressful. I don't know.
I totally want a golf cart.
Well,
but I don't want to pay for it,
Yeah, for free. It's a Yamaha G1. It's a gas motor. I have an electric one, but my batteries went bad, and to buy, because it takes like 6 or 8 batteries to buy the batteries, 6-volt batteries for it. It's like, I don't know, $700 or $800, I would just rather have a gas one, so I'm gonna sell that other one and keep this.
But there was two trucks coming down the road that when we were picking it up, trying to get it.
Yeah.
We beat them by like a minute.
Yeah, we just made it.
God.
Yeah.
And we got a boat.
And we got a rowboat.
I didn't even put that in the thing.
Yeah, they had a rowboat, which we're gonna throw a motor on because we sell a lot of fishing boats. We're gonna throw a motor on it, and throw it on a trailer, and put it up for sale.
and we buy boats that are in bad shape, like the floor's rotten or whatever, for the motor and the trailer. Well, so and Tara's always like, well, sell those trailers. I'm like, no, I want to hold on to them until I might come across a boat. Well, now I got a boat. I'm going to throw it on a trailer, throw a little 10-horse motor on it, and some old man can buy it for his fishing boat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're all fish crazy.
I like fishing.
Yeah.
I used to have a boat too, and it had a Johnson on it.
I used to have a life like that before eBay. I could go like and stuff. Yeah.
That's me too. It's like ever since eBay, don't really have time to do anything extra like that.
in the fall of the year. And this past fall, we haven't been able to find any because usually, like this time until July 4th, after July 4th, boat prices go down. You can sell like one of those rowboats with like, let's say a 10-horse motor on it on a trailer. I mean, we'll get like $600 for them.
Wow. I gotta pee. Be right back.
All right.
I love fishing, but my husband doesn't. My husband likes fishing sometimes, but not a lot. So I'm usually just going by myself. So I usually just fish from shore. I don't bother with taking the boat out.
When I was younger, fishing was my life. I ice fish, I regular fish, I fish from the boat, I fish from the shoreline. I always fish. And now I hardly ever fish because I never make any time for it.
I know when I hurt my knee and I was on workman's comp, I used to fish every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I was younger, I used to fish all the time, at least every weekend, you know.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, now I haven't fished in over a year. And yeah, it's just driving me nuts because I love to fish.
I love fishing. Yeah, I used to fish a lot. Me and my uncle, we'd fish together all the time. And then if there was days where he was doing chores or whatever, because we had a summer house that I sold it. But anyway, I could ride my bike. It was maybe about a mile from the boat landing. Then I would go fish off a shore just to go get my fishing fix on. But yeah, I don't fish very much anymore.
Yeah.
Did a lot of ice fishing. We used to set up a lot of tip ups and pull northerns up through the, I'd sit with a jig pole and then we'd have our limit of tip ups and then we'd do a lot of northern fishing and through the ice, which is a lot of fun.
I would love to ice fish, but I'm scared of the ice.
I don't like the ice either. And I hate driving out on a truck, but I would just tough it out and do it. But I'm the person that when we're driving in a truck, I like to sit next to the door with my hand on the latch because I'm always paranoid that if the truck falls through, the pressure, you're stuck inside of it or whatever.
Yeah. I just told my husband, you go out and drill the hole, I'll cast to the hole.
Jim used to go ice fishing out in Minnesota, like that real late season ice fishing that they do like end of March or whatever, when the ice is getting dark and there's a lot of slush on it. And they fell through out there with a snowmobile and a pull behind sleigh toboggan thing. And Jim's like, oh my God, he goes, I sounded like a little girl because the snowmobile's floating by its seat, And he's like, will we make it? He talks to his friend, will we make it, Jerry? And he goes, the guy is standing on the snowmobile while it's floating and lights a cigarette like John Wayne or something. I says, well, I think if we try to jump to that snowbank, we'll make it.
No, he says we might die. He goes, one of two things is going to happen. We could die or we could jump and make it to that snowbank. What do you think we should do? I'm like, I think we should go over the snowbank, Jerry. He's like, yeah, I think we should too. I mean, he never broke a sweat. I'm talking, it's like somebody strangling me. My throat is so tight. I'm in this little tin thing called a ski boggin. It's made by Skidoo. It's from the 1960s. It's got little drain holes in it. So what's happening is water's coming up like a fountain. It's like something out of like Titanic. I got these little fountains coming up in front of me, and my thing is filling up with water, and I'm sinking into this ice cold water. And he's like, his pulse rate doesn't even go up. I'm like, but I did learn something from that. Whenever I'm stressed out now, I narrow everything down to two possible outcomes. It's going to be one thing or the other, and just mentally prepare yourself for one of those two outcomes, and it makes you so much calmer because you're not worried about the million different scenarios. It's just two scenarios, on or off,
die.
And you can really keep a clear head in bad situations like that. I learned something from that near-death experience. It was awesome.
So anyway, the snowmobile, what they didn't know is they were in between two ice shelves. So it went into about 3 foot of water that was in between these two ice shelves. So it didn't like sink to the bottom of the lake or anything. End of story.
Where in Minnesota was that?
Bena? Was it Bena?
Bena. It's on Lake Winnebagosh.
Winnebagosh.
Oh, that's scary.
On the eastern shore. It's on the res. It's one of those resorts they got on the reservation, and I think it's a little podunk town called Bena.
That is scary. I when I was in I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. When I was a little girl, I was just tiny, and And I was walking across this creek, and usually the creek is like where I was walking, it was usually like just to my ankles, you know. Across the ice, and I was there by myself. I wasn't even supposed to have been there. I was supposed to go right home on the bus. And the bus driver and let me ride on the bus with my friend. So I went to my friend's house, and I wasn't supposed to.
No.
Would have known where I was. Anyways, I'm tromping on the ice, you know, like just being a jerk, and you know, all of a sudden I go through. And this creek was like rushing fast.
Oh boy.
And it's a direct link to Lake Superior. It goes right out to Lake Superior.
Uh-huh.
Well, to the bay, but eventually into Lake Superior. Anyways, sucked under the ice. And I barely got myself out of it.
Oh my God, that's scary. Yeah. Holy
As a
shit.
little girl, you know, and I've never been able to be on ice again like that.
Yeah.
Were your parents out looking for you?
Well, it wasn't that time yet. I mean, I hadn't been gone long enough. You know, I just went to my friend's house, and I was running home, so that I hoped I didn't get in trouble, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I was your dad, you'd get in trouble.
When I got home, I didn't tell my mom either what happened to me. I just ran home, and my mom's like, "Why are you so wet?" And I was like, "Oh, I found a mud puddle. I was just playing in, you know."
Yeah.
Because that was common for me. I love mud, you know.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was scary. My parents would have never known what happened to me.
Yeah. That happened here in Eagle River when Jim was a kid. A little girl went missing, and they figured that she fell through they didn't know what happened to her. Well, Jim's like, we used to ride the school bus over the bridge, this Eagle River, and they'd see a scarf down there on the ice, and they would say, oh yeah, that's probably that little girl's scarf. Well, the funny thing, well, not that it's funny, but it was that little girl's scarf. There's a park by the river that has a steep hill. Well, she must have been like sliding and went out on the ice and broke through, and they found her in the spring of the year.
Now you're a kid, you think, what's the odds it could be that kid's scarf? It was her scarf. That was so creepy.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had somebody this last winter fell through the ice on Wisconsin Point. They found her car out there, and they figured she must have went out on the ice and fell through.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was just a few weeks later then they found her. And she had floated up finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary
Wow.
stuff.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Well,
Just ended.
Huh.
Hey Nikki, I don't know if you heard about that Beatles box I bought. It's a Paul McCartney. Is it still in here?
no, I put it out.
It's a Paul McCartney Revel model kit where you build a model of Paul, who's the greatest Beatle, which I thought was a little crappy to the other Beatles, but okay. So anyway, so they got this Paul the greatest Beatle thing. And I'm like, at the auction, I buy it in a box lot for $5. Well, everybody picked it up and looked at it. I'm like, wow, why didn't anybody else grab this thing? So I walk up there and grab it. Well, I open up the box and there's nothing in it. It's completely empty. I'm like,
Oh, we did it in our haul video. We're like, oh yeah, we got this Beetle, and then Jim, he shakes it. He's like, uh-oh, and then we say something like, well, so you got to check stuff before you buy it or whatever.
The auction just ended. $72. The empty box sold for $72.
Wow, nice.
If the kit's in it, it's worth like, I don't know, $400 or $500.
Yeah, they had them like around $4.50.
It must be a rare model kit, and it's right from like '64, so it's right when they were, first, getting out, first becoming popular.
That's awesome, though. At least it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say, because we got to pay our eBay in a couple days.
Yeah.
That money's going right to eBay.
Oh man, I want to keep that money.
No.
I know this last month has been the cheapest month I have ever had on eBay since I started.
Oh boy.
$53 in sales, in fees this month.
Oh, that's nice. Well, it's
How
not
much
great.
are our fees?
16.
Huh?
Yeah, our fees are around $1,600.
Yeah, mine are usually up in the $1,500 range or more. But yeah, I don't think I've ever paid less than $1,500 for fees in probably over a couple of years. every month, but yeah, my eBay fees on the one store, I mean, I don't have the other store open yet. On the one store it was $53 and some cents. I was like, sweet.
Are you still
Of course,
doing
I haven't made any money,
Are you
but
still doing 2 stores, or you just have one going now?
I only have one store open right now.
No.
I'll open the
Well, it
other
makes
store.
it easy. Yeah.
I just listened to that part of the video and it's freaking hilarious.
No, we saw like a bunch of when Jim gets like that, I don't know if you remember like Married with Children, they talk about Psycho Dad. I'm like, you sound like Psycho Dad.
You guys just sound really excited.
Like, we sound like we're crazy, not excited.
We're like that. I'm like that when I see something free on Craigslist.
I always say I don't know where my kid gets like this smart ass like dry sense of humor, and I listen to myself talk. I'm like, oh my god, it is from me. I didn't even.
Totally.
Because he'd be like, oh come on, do we have to go? I'm like, oh good, you don't have to drive it. It'll be awesome.
Yep. Yep, totally sounds like you, Jer.
I know, which I didn't realize I sounded like that because he'll say something to me like it'll be like this real like dry, sarcastic. I'm like, where does he get that from? I don't talk like that. I'm like, oh my god.
That's all right. You should hear my kids sometimes. It's like, oh my god, really? Did I teach them that?
Yeah,
that
funny.
it was funny. I'm gonna be tagging that.
We get like that too, and I do when I see stuff free on Craigslist. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go,
It was a Facebook post, and Todd's sitting there talking to me about this phone, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm looking at my computer, and I click on Facebook, and it just pops up in the news feed, free golf cart. I'm like, holy shit! Boom, I'm out the door,
Yeah.
Poor Silver Hair Stacker got left hanging because everybody left. Valerie's volume couldn't talk. Sally went to. I was gonna call you Valerie. I was gonna go smoke a cigarette or go to the bathroom, and like Dusty's gone eating omelets or whatever. So he's like just left on his own.
Poor guy. You guys were live?
Yeah, it was Sally's show.
If you go on Sally's, it's the what is it? The
Upside Down Picker.
Upside Down Picker, but it's one where she says sorry or something is the title of it. It's got an odd title. But anyway, if you go to the 1 minute 29 or 1 hour 29 minute mark, that's when it starts.
I'll have to go look
Funny
at
thing
it.
is, though, Silverhair's still talking like nothing's going on yet. It's like kind of he's trying to put together what the hell's going on. He's sitting there.
Oh, somebody's in trouble. Like, I don't know if he thought I was like beating my kid,
It does sound like you're beating the kid. So it sounds like we're both beating our kid.
Which we do not beat our kid. Anyway.
We should, but we don't. Yeah, he didn't want to stop playing his Xbox game or whatever.
Yeah.
Poor kid. He's probably like, what the heck?
I know. He always he's not he was for a while about auctions, but now because I give him enough stuff, he can just go sit in the van and play his tablet, and I take the laptop or he can watch a movie. But like if we pull into a Goodwill, I mean he'll be like, oh come on, how long are you gonna be? He won't even go in them. He hates them. It's crazy. He absolutely hates them. He won't even go in them. Or a thrift, or if we stop at a thrift store too. Oh come on. Yeah, he's not into that stuff at all. And it's not like we don't buy him stuff. I mean, anything he finds, like if we're at a thrift store or Goodwill, I mean, we pretty much buy it for him, He just hates them. Anyway, we went up to Michigan for that glass bottom boat tour. So we ate at Red Lobster, which, that makes it sound like we're real hicks or something. That was our big meal out, was Red Lobster. Anyway.
Hey.
So there's a Goodwill next to the Red Lobster. So Brandon's like, okay, where are we going? I'm like, oh, we're just going to stop at this store. So we pull up and he sees that blue Goodwill. So he's like, oh, come on. One day, and Jim's like, yeah, but we have to do it. So we could write off the Red Lobster and stuff like that because we made it into a sourcing trip.
Yeah, I grabbed that Goodwill receipt and I pulled it up right with the Red Lobster receipt. I'm like, we're writing this baby off, including Chip.
That's too funny.
Can y'all hear me still?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, I got a question for you now, Valerie. So I see that, I'm assuming it's your daughter, sells like those clothing with YouTube videos. How does she do that? Does she sell it off of YouTube, or do you put your order in while she's on YouTube?
You can do it either way. She has like an album where you can go in and look at the pictures, or you can just order it through when she's doing the YouTube. Yeah.
Because so is that like a preview then, I'm assuming? I always see it late after it's not live.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they usually do like I don't know. Usually it's about a 2-hour show. And then
don't they do Facebook Live for
yeah,
that?
but it goes to YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, they can put it toward on YouTube, so it'll transfer basically.
Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. It's like an HSN thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tara, and these leggings are like so soft.
Oh yeah. Are they
me and Valerie are like completely hooked.
No, really, everybody. Are they those like Lularoos, or how do you say it?
Lularoe.
Lularoe. I know everybody. You have like a lot of Facebook groups in my area too, where they sell them. So.
Yeah, Brandon actually came home from the store yesterday, and he goes, "There's a rack of clothing out in somebody's yard, like a block from me, and it says Lularoe on it." And I'm like, I can't even go over there because I know that I'm gonna spend money that I don't even have.
When you first brought up Brandon, I'm like, if she's telling me that he's wearing Lularoe.
That would be funny. But they do have men's shirts though.
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking about him in Lularoes with no shirt on or something.
That would be funny.
Looking like a wrestler.
Totally. No, but I've never spent money like that on clothing. Like I'm one, I'd rather get it for free or very, very cheap.
Yeah.
And I spent 20, the leggings are 25. And I bought 2 pairs so far.
Oh boy. Yeah, it sounds like you sound like me. I don't buy new clothes unless they're on clearance. I buy a lot of my stuff comes from the thrift store or whatever.
Yeah.
And not that I can't afford new clothes, I'm just too thrifty now. It's like a cheap way you think. You're like, well, why should I go pay $50 for it when I know I can go find it at a thrift store for $5, you know?
But seriously, these are like so comfortable, and you like you don't wash them the same as you do your other clothes. You like turn them inside out and wash them by hand and let them dry.
Oh yeah.
And then like you still get that softness. It's so soft. And I'll wear them for like 2 days in a row, and then I'll wash them again. I have a system now to where like I come home from work and I put on my leggings. And then I'll do that for 2 days, and then I'll wash that pair and I put on my other pair the next day. And then I wear those for 2 days and then wash the next pair.
Well, it sounds good except for the hand washing part. I don't know if I'd like hand washing, but
you don't even have, I mean, it's not even that big of a deal, you know.
You don't have to hand wash them. You can put them in the washer. You just dry them.
Yeah.
Well,
right, Sally?
I don't think so, Valerie. I think you're supposed to.
I always put mine in the washer, but I just put them out to dry. I just don't.
I do not put mine in the washer.
Oh. Well, maybe on delicate in the washer, hey?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I just put mine in the washer.
It's, You know what? I did hand washing for so long. Whenever I didn't have a washer, it was like 2 pieces of clothing. That's no big deal. Shit, last week I did 9 loads.
Oh no.
So, yeah, so you still get that softness, and it's like incredibly soft leggings. Like you just sit there and stroke your own legs.
Oh my god.
That might get you into trouble.
Do they make these for guys too, or just?
He
ladies?
said shorts. Yeah.
Shirts, yeah.
Oh, sure.
No, I want like
Yeah.
Oh,
what strokeable leggings.
oh gross.
You should totally buy some leggings. You should totally buy some leggings, Jim.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
I could look like Batman.
Yeah, it would.
I said like a
Old
wrestler.
school- old
Like a
school
wrestler.
Batman.
Oh my god.
Or who's the other? Oh, Robin Hood.
Oh god.
Bring it on, Robin. I'll do it.
I just listened to that part of the video.
Oh,
Oh.
where were you yelling at each other?
It's hilarious, isn't it? Doing good, Zilke. How are you?
Well, at least you told poor Todd what you were doing.
Yeah. All you hear is
Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble.
it's like all quiet, and all of a sudden you hear Tara go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And then we go right immediately out the door. Get ready to get dressed, and I'm out the door because Jim's outside, so I'm out there yelling, Jim.
Yeah, our kid was hurt or something.
That's funny. I have a Harley Davidson golf cart.
Oh, is it the 3-wheel one or 4-wheel?
Yeah, we bought it. Yeah, the one with the handle in the middle.
Yeah.
The steering wheel in the middle. Yeah, and it was either $200 or $300, which is really cheap.
They're hard to find.
For a running lawnmower. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. They're hard to find. I mean, everybody kind of wants, especially the gas-powered ones. I mean, and they're kind of expensive. I know our neighbor next door got a couple club cars, and I think she paid like $1,000 or $1,200 a piece. And they're not new; they're like 1980s ones.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. Started using golf carts, my family, and at steam shows and stuff. And yeah, you could pick them up for a couple $100 at that time. Then all of a sudden, it just like everybody just started using them, and then now you can't touch them for less than $1,200.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of
$1,200
ugly because the seat's gone, and they got that piece of. I think what happened is because that has like a roof on it. I think somebody probably rolled it on a side hill or something and broke that box that where the seat and there's like the bag box behind you. I think they probably broke it. And they put that stupid piece of plywood on it. But I'm just gonna have them put seats on it and then build a box on it, and it'll be fine. I mean, for free, how can you go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, and golf carts are awesome around the farm and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, or I can let my kid drive it around and stuff like that. He's kind of jealous because the neighbor has a golf cart. Well, then he'll have his own golf cart. So
They could ram each other.
I thought you said he ain't gonna drive it.
no, well, if you listen to the video, he goes, "Oh, come on, why do we gotta go get a golf cart?" I'm like, "Oh, fine, you don't have to drive it. It'll be awesome." Then he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll get dressed."
That was so funny.
Because before that, he's like complaining. I'm like, "It's a golf cart. You'll love it."
Was it like?
Yeah, for just around the farm and stuff, you don't even have to put seats on it.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably put a little box on it because, like, if you have to fix fence or something, then you got a place you can have some tools and stuff like that without it like bouncing off.
Yeah, and Nikki, you're talking to people who have like 30 boat seats in their.
Yeah.
We have a boat seat
Yeah.
pile because you can't sell them; they're too freaking heavy for what they're worth. You can't ship them, but we wind up with them because it's too good a deal to pass up. Or we take them out of boats that we salvaged or whatever,
and put them in different boats.
Yeah, so you got all these.
Sell.
Believe me, we have plenty of boat seats.
Here I
We could
threw
do
that.
with less boat seats.
I threw that bidet up on Craigslist and Facebook,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
and I forgot about it. And the last last few days, I've been getting all these weird numbers calling me, and I've been ignoring them. Last night, I was asking my husband. I says, "Do you recognize any of these numbers?" I was like, "Oh shit! You know what? They're probably calling about that stupid bidet. I forgot all about it." But they weren't leaving any messages. Why wouldn't they leave messages? You know.
Mhm.
Because we've been getting a lot of calls from people saying, "Oh, you went to Tampa, Florida recently, and we want to. Can we interest you in this package?" You know, and it's like I've never been to freaking Tampa, Florida. You know,
Yeah.
and so we've been getting a lot of calls like that recently. So that's why I just kind of just quit answering anything that I don't know.
How much is a bidet? I mean, I don't know how much they are. How much are they? Just out of curiosity, are they expensive? More expensive
Well,
than
on eBay, you can buy them for 150 to 250 bucks.
Oh, okay.
How much they are in the store, I don't know. This one is like new. I mean,
Yeah.
if it isn't new, it's like new. I think it is new though. I don't think it's ever been used.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki, if you're calling people about buying a special device to wash your private areas, do you really want to be leaving phone messages?
I suppose. Maybe like the guy who called about the diapers I had for sale.
Oh, I'll tell you a funny story. We sold, it's one of those gag gift things, but anyway, it's a measuring thing and it's called a pecker checker. It's gay. I sold it on eBay. But the person, it's a lady buying it. She types a message, on the message part, "I'm adding this to my ruler collection." Did you really need to add that message to me? The way you know what I mean?
We don't judge.
We don't judge you, we're just going to send it to you. But now you make me think, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm adding this to my ruler collection. Like we would judge her, like maybe she's checking, dude's stuff or whatever,
Yeah.
I would try it out.
That's fine.
Oh, gross.
Used once.
Like new, only used once.
I didn't measure.
Well, that's like my daughter. She named the auctioneer by name, but she goes, he's gonna make fun of you about that bidet. I said, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna sell it.
I've never owned a house that had a bidet in it. Now that house where we do that property management on, they do have a bidet in the house. But I've never
back when metal urinals were big profits.
Yeah.
You used to be able to sell them for anywhere from $50 to $100.
Yeah.
Those old time metal ones, for bedpans and stuff.
Yeah.
The old ones, the porcelain like ones. Anyways, I bought there was a box of them, and I've been waiting all night for them, And I ended up getting them for like $2. And I was so freaking excited. I got the bid. He says my number. I go over there. And at first I go, yes. And I go over and everybody's looking to see what I was buying,
Yeah.
Because I was so dang excited about it. And I went and picked up this box of urinals. Everybody's looking at me. And he goes, "That's what you've been waiting for?" I was like, "Yes, I've been waiting all night for these." I was so excited. Oh, God, he razzed me for months on that one.
Yeah, I just sold one like a month ago, and it even had like the sticker on it yet, the brand. It was an old porcelain one, but I mean, it took forever to sell it, and it didn't. I think it maybe sold for like 15 or 16 bucks.
Yeah, they don't sell as good as they used to. I got a couple still in the garage. They don't with the label. I got one brand new in the box even, and yeah, they don't sell worth crap now.
Yeah.
They used to though. I used to sell them all the time years ago for anywhere from $50 to $100.
And those old like porcelain chamber pots, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the crock one.
Those are hard to ship.
And they're hard to ship. They're heavy, but they used to do a lot better too.
Yeah, that's one of those things you don't want to buy and wait on. Sometimes you buy and you don't list them right away, and they get in your stuff. Go to list it, and it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
And darn well it sells for that because you sold them for that just recently.
It's like
There right away.
me and Silver Stacker were talking a little bit yesterday before I got up. Like rotary phones and stuff. Those used to be really good profit in them, and they've really crashed.
Oh yeah, those.
I mean, unless you have
yeah.
some super obscure color or something like that. I mean, you used to be able to pretty much sell any of those rotary phones. Did pretty good, and they just don't do good at all anymore. They're not even worth dealing with.
Or even like those push button princess phone like ones. What are they called? I think they're called princess phone.
Yeah,
Anyways, those ones that lay in their cradle.
Yeah.
Yeah, those used to do really good too. They don't do any good anymore either.
Yeah, that's what he's got. That's what Silverhair had.
Well, no, this is a different kind. This is a newer version.
Oh, the push button.
They're
I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh yeah, he had the rotary.
Yeah, the push button plastic ones that they're like curved a little bit.
Yeah.
And they just fit right into themselves like.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones. They don't do any. They used to do, $40-$50 too, and they don't do it anymore.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, everybody hopped onto that train and
or trending changes on them. They're just not as popular for whatever reason, and yeah.
Well, I think the market got flooded on those because that was a big bolo for a long time. Those push button phones, rotary phones.
I'll still go to auction, and they still bid them up too high, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, there's no money in those at all.
Yeah. Yep. But like those lids off, those Black & Decker lids off things that open the jars for you.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get $45 to $65, $75 a piece for those. And then for a long time, you couldn't even give them away hardly.
Yeah.
Sold one not too long ago for like $22 or $24. So they're going up again. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, they kind of came back a little bit.
I suppose the problem with that is, like, a lot of people, they find out about it, but those kind of items are easy items to pick up, like at Goodwill or some thrift store or whatever. I mean, you run across them a lot. It's probably kind of Starbucks mugs, you run across.
Those are one of those bolos that, they're everywhere, and people just flood the market with them, and then, they end up being shit.
Yeah.
But I think now people have settled down on them, so now you can get $20 for them now,
Uh-huh. Well, and
trends pick them up
too. Trends change. It ain't. I don't think it's just the market. I think that plays into it, but you'll have it where it's not as popular, to collect some crappy old phone or whatever. So people go on to something else. You just got to try to keep yourself updated with that, which is always easy to do.
Beth had a question about why is there no option for England under country of manufacturer. I think it's because England isn't England?
Oh, United Kingdom it should be.
Yeah, it's the UK, not.
Oh, they're asking why isn't there an England option? Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, it's United Kingdom.
Yeah, should be under United Kingdom.
Our item specific is marked England, so I want England. Well, eBay says it has to be UK, I guess.
Yeah. Which sucks because sometimes things are marked. So like the Wasserbach mugs, they're marked West German.
Yeah.
Which it's been years since there's been a West Germany,
Yeah.
Or like occupied Japan. That's worth more than something that's Japan.
Yeah.
So you should be able to put that in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like what if you have something that's marked Yugoslavia?
It shows the period of it.
Or what if you have something marked Yugoslavia? Because that all got like if it would be marked Yugoslavia because that all got broke up into countries.
Yeah.
There's no Yugoslavia anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, they should allow you to be able to use that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would age it in your item descriptions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or like Germany or occupied Japan or anything like that. That's all dated, by
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
machines.
That's yeah.
I mean, the new gen, probably your son probably don't even know what West Germany is.
Well, only reason he does know is because he's a World War II buff. He's real into like military and like World War II right now, so
Oh,
he knows all that stuff.
He'll come up to you and he'll say, "What happened July 26, 1943?" Because he just watched the documentary on it, like you're gonna know, you know. So, but he doesn't want to know from you. He wants to know if you know. So he's like crazy for these World War II battles.
Yeah.
He's a nut. And he's got like all his plastic army men. He sets up these big elaborate battles with, you know, tanks and artillery. And he knows what kind of artillery piece it is. He'll name it. You know.
Yeah. Or it's kind of funny because like in the winter now, like he'll set up stuff on shelves, but like up on the high shelves, he'll put like stuff like a radio guy and a guy with a pair of binoculars, like a scout or whatever, so that they're like scouting and reporting in the battle. Yeah, he does this real elaborate, more crazy. And he's kind of World War II crazy.
Huh.
And Jim is into like he collected World War II and World War I guns, so it's kind of something my son is into too. So you know they're kind of gun crazy about that kind of stuff and that.
yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, so normal kids wouldn't know what West Germany is.
normal kids.
Like 2 years ago, because what's he 10 now? Or gonna be
He's
10?
gonna be 10 in the
Yeah.
fall.
So about 2 years ago, I'm looking at this Arisaka. It's a Japanese rifle from World War II, and he looks at it, and I let him hold it. He goes, I want this. Can I have this? I'm like, no, you can't have it. And I thought, well, you know what? You're gonna wind up with it anyway. Sure, you can have it. You know, it's safe because it doesn't have it's obsolete ammunition that I don't have anymore, and it won't chamber anything or whatever. So it sits in a gun rack. You know, but that's what got him started on the World War II stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna get it all in the end anyway, so might as well give it to him now. I ain't using it.
They have this auction in February here. It's a Valentine's Day auction where it's a big gun auction. So we usually go there. Jim went to it, and we didn't get any guns that year, or we might have got one, or he didn't think we got any. He starts weeping at the end of the auction. It's probably the last time, and he thinks we haven't gotten any. Yeah, so he's a little different that way.
Was it a year ago or 2 years? 2 years ago, Valentine's Day, there was an auction. This guy passed away, and he didn't want to have it on Valentine's Day, but this guy, they were in a rush to get the estate settled and whatever, so he had to hurry up, and that was the only date available. Anyways, it was freezing cold. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how close. Probably 30 below or 40 below wind chill out that day. Anyways, and all they had was a small shop that was warm. Everything else was outside or in a cold barn.
Yeah.
Anyways, all the guys, you go into the shop and you hear them going, God, I hope he hurries up because I told my wife I'd be home by such and such time for dinner. and just deep shit because they were at the auction, you know. And
Yeah.
I told my husband, you know, we never celebrate Valentine's Day really, you know, usually, but we love each other every day, not just one day a year. Anyways, I told him, I said, for Valentine's Day, I want to go to the auction, you know. And so we did. And we're sitting there listening to all these people, you know, pissing and moaning about how long this is taking because the guy had a ton of stuff. And how long this was taking and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, now you should feel lucky. I tell my husband, you should feel lucky. I just wanted to come to an auction for Valentine's Day. I said,
that's the kind of stuff
we piss and moan about having to be here, you know.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we do, though. We don't. I mean, I never expect him to give me like flowers or candy or some sappy stuff like that. I'd rather go buy something I actually really want at an auction than, you know.
Yep. Well, that's my husband. He's not allowed to buy me like flowers and stupid shit. You know, go buy me something I can use.
Well, I always
like one year he bought me a vacuum. It was this vacuum cleaner. I wanted it for like a year, and I wanted this vacuum, but I was too cheap to buy it. Anyways, he ended up buying me that for Valentine's Day, and this was when I worked for FedEx Freight. And all the guys, on Monday, they're talking about, what they had to get their wives and blah, blah, blah. And this one guy, he said that he cannot get away from not buying her diamonds. She expects it.
Yeah.
Doghouse.
Oh, boy.
Anyways,
Gold
they're
digger.
like, hey, Nikki, what'd you get for Valentine's Day? I don't see any rings on your finger. And I said, I got a vacuum cleaner. He goes, oh boy. He goes, I bet your husband was in the doghouse. He goes, is he still alive? I said, no, that's what I wanted. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah. I said, I don't wear rings and everything else. I said, I don't even wear my wedding ring because I bent the shit out of it. And then I ended up losing the diamond out of it and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
I just, and they're like, holy crap, how did he get away with that? I was like, that's what I wanted. I said, I don't ask for flowers or none of that crap, and they're like, holy man, he's a lucky guy.
I joke with Jim because his first wife, he had to like give her flowers and cards, for birthdays, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, all that stuff. And I say rings and stuff. I said, well, you see how well that one worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying occasionally, on a day coming home from work or whatever, and he's at the gas station or whatever, they sell those roses or something. I'm not saying he never grabs me one of those or something, or grabs me a bouquet of flowers at Walmart or something. He brings stuff home once in a while, occasionally, and that's fine. That's sweet, He says, "Don't buy me flower. Buy me a flower I can plant outside. Buy me a plant, that I can, I'd be more happy with that than pick flowers, or go out,
Jim's never.
and especially I love wildflowers. So it would mean more to me for him to go out in the field and pick me a bunch of daisies and buttercups and bring them to me than going to Walmart and grabbing me some flowers,
Yeah.
I always go out and pick wildflowers. I love wildflowers. Yeah, me and Tara, we're kind of different, aren't we?
Yeah,
Our husbands are lucky to have us.
Jim's never bought me flowers, but he has bought me weird stuff. Because I remember, I think it was for Christmas. It was when Buck the Deer Head first came out. So that was my Christmas present, was one of those. I still have it, the Buck the Deer Head, set up. That was my present. I've gotten a shotgun from when I had the baby. There was at an antique store, they had this Budweiser Clydesdale horse advertising picture, and I always liked it, but I was too cheap to buy it. So then he gave it to me after I had our son. For having the baby, I got a picture. So anyway, I never get flowers or anything.
Well, that was, 1 year he brought me home the DVD Rambo, the newer Rambo. He bought me that, or just something I want, but that, to me, that means more than like flowers and stuff, because that means he's listening.
Yep.
Yeah.
He sees stuff that I wanted, so it means he was listening,
Well, and if you think about it this way, like flowers die and you throw them away, but something like Buck the Deer Head, you can just go sell that later on when you get sick of it.
Exactly.
It's like you're making money on your gifts then,
Or you can think of him fondly while you're looking at it later.
Well, not in this house. It's out in the office now. But anyway, at the old house, it hung in our bedroom for a long time. And it has like a microphone and a remote and everything, you know what I mean? Yeah, it hung in our bedroom for a long time. You were totally redneck.
Well, that's like even Christmas time. We don't buy each other really gifts. I mean, we'll buy each other small things to put under the tree, like socks or whatever. But usually at Christmas time, we buy one thing. Like this year, we bought ourselves a Keurig for the house. Last year, we bought ourselves was it last year or was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, we bought ourselves our 55-inch TV,
Yeah.
We buy ourselves something for the house.
We don't get each other Christmas gifts either. But I will say this past year, Jim bought me that voice-changing Star Wars Stormtrooper helmet. And I was totally not expecting it. But that's why we have two. Because I'm like, oh, they're cheap on Amazon. I'm going to buy one and give it to Brandon. And then I can just use it. Well, he had already bought mine. But otherwise, I didn't get him anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually use that time to buy each other something. And usually we'll go like and we won't buy it like for Christmas. We'll buy it like the next day after Christmas with all the sales going on, you know.
Yeah. We just pretty much, if Jim says, hey, I want something, I'll be just like, okay, well, go ahead and buy it. I mean, as long as it isn't like you're taking the electric bill money or we can't eat now because you went and bought something stupid. But, I mean, both of us either way can pretty much just buy whatever we want whenever we want to. You know what I mean? I mean, we'll run it by the other person, you know. But anyway.
And nowadays we normally do that now because we can afford it. But this was something that we started when we were and didn't have any money, you know, so we'd save up for one thing, you know, that year. And I guess it probably meant a little more to us then because, you know, we couldn't afford it really, but we'd save up for it. You had to save up for a long time, you know.
Yeah, well, like this thing we did this weekend, that glass bottom boat tour, that was kind of like our anniversary present to ourselves. Now we take our kid with us and stuff. Well, our anniversary is like the 30th. Is it past or is it today? I don't know. But anyway, that was our present to ourselves.
She's like, I don't know what the hell it is.
I know it's the 30th.
I know.
Really
the 30th.
Yeah. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, it's our 10-year anniversary. We've been married 10 years today.
Oh, happy anniversary. And my husband always remembers all the anniversaries and stuff.
No, we forget it usually. It'll be like June 2nd. I'm like, oh, wait, our anniversary was at the end of the month.
Oopsie.
I know one year we were like, well, see, my anniversary is the day before my birthday. And so, yeah, I mean, all of a sudden we'll be like, everybody will be like, happy anniversary. And we're like, oh shit, it is our anniversary.
Yeah.
He never forgets, but I do.
No, Jim forgets. We both forget.
Yeah.
Mine's on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's an easy one to remember then.
Mine isn't that I forget. I forget what day it is. Like she just was like, "It's today the 30th."
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Oh wait, it's tomorrow." You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, though, that's a great day for your anniversary. What it's not a good day is a birthday or your kid, especially if it's a boy and you name them Valentine. Why do people do that? Valentine is a horrible day.
Who does that
There's guys named Valentine because they're born on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of a European name. My grandmother's brother was a Valentine.
Oh, well, there you go.
But they called him Bill.
For good reason. Boy named Steve.
That makes sense.
Call me Bill.
That's too funny.
Valentine.
Oh my god.
All right, Dusty, tell us a story so we get off an anniversary subject.
I bought Kristen a blender one year for like Valentine's Day, and that was the last year. I bought her a kitchen appliance for a holiday like that. It was a nice one. It was like a Cuisinart or I don't know, whatever, glass thing and all that. And that was very early on in our marriage. After that, I figured out that there's some holidays that she likes romantic things. There's other holidays that practical things I can get away with. But yeah, that's all I got. All right, what do you want a story about? Hold on.
I don't know. I was just thinking I would be like, oh, happy Valentine's Day, honey. Here's a blender. Now get in the kitchen and make me some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like, now you can make margaritas. And she's like, Austin, we never make margaritas. Like, you know, like.
We have the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville margarita making machine, which I was going to sell, but Jim's like, let's keep it. We'll make margaritas. We've never used it yet.
I would totally use that.
I would like to. It's just like we never have time. I mean, it seems like we're always doing stuff that I can't envision myself sitting down and saying, let's drink margaritas at home now.
Yeah. Well, see, that when my husband buys me something like that, it just makes me think, well, he is actually listening to me when I talk, you know, because he just bought me something I wanted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But asking for or whatever, or that I've been saying, yeah, I want this, or whatever, but cheap to buy that kind of stuff for myself,
Yeah.
Or like one year he took me for my birthday up to, I got to buy all kinds of fishing stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you just learn. You learn over the sorry. You learn over the years. What? Like for me, I don't want anything. That's the thing. Like she knows what means more to me for a holiday as far as a gift is, something handmade or something sweet or something like a long card with a love letter inside of it. I mean, that's just me. I don't want anything,
Yeah.
And if there is, you would know it because I'd talk about it forever and ever and ever, or I'd just go buy it for myself,
Yeah. Yep. And usually I don't really care for gifts either. I mean, he just feels like he has to buy me something.
Right.
But like Mother's Day or whatever, the kids will be like, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" And I'm like, "Let's just have a barbecue, all of us, or
Yeah.
let's just spend time together. Who cares? I don't care what we do,
Mm-hmm.
Like one year, my kids and I went fishing. That was like one of the best Mother's Day I ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, as crazy as this sounds, just getting away for the evening somewhere with Tristan, without the kids, without the phones. We do a lot of what some people think is stupid, but we go to like the motel across town or the motel 50 miles up the road. We have this one we like that's in downtown Huntsville because it's got a grocery store connected to it. They have 2 or 3 of our favorite restaurants connected to it. It's in this really cool little lofty area, and I can usually get it for about $100 a night. And it's really cool. And we just go and we hang out, and they have free breakfast in the morning. They have manager's reception, at night and all that with like free drinks or whatever. And to me, that's fun. Just to go and get away, sleep on clean hotel sheets, which I don't know how to explain. You either get what I'm talking about or not. Clean hotel sheets, they just smell different. They're softer. They're not your sheets at home, and you just get somewhere different other than the house, and to me, that's fun. I'm more about experiences, and I don't know. I think we talked about this the other day. It's kind of like, yeah, I can go get takeout or have food delivered to the house and spend $60 doing it. But if I'm going to spend $60 for dinner, we're going to go out and we're going to have an experience and laugh and fun, and create I just kind of sentimental, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I do like doing things that you remember. Hey, do you remember that time when we blank, whatever, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Dusty can lift his chair now. What?
Somebody said that they got an email about dental equipment savings, everything you need for your practice. And I said Dusty could lift his chair now.
I go down there and clean it up. So let's see, fun stories. I got nothing. We watched Logan last night. It was pretty good.
Yeah, my husband said that one was pretty good.
I mean, Tristan is, but I was never like a major follower of the X-Men and Wolverine and all that kind of stuff. But you didn't really have to know anything about Wolverine to watch the movie, so.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Dang you, Tara. What was I supposed to tell a story about? I
don't know. Somehow we got on the story. I just said, because I walked away to get a soda, so I'm like, all right, now it's your turn, Dusty.
Let's see.
Did you hear about Tara and Jim getting their golf cart yesterday?
No.
That's what we've been talking about. Because Tara starts cursing and getting her kid ready and stuff because it's a first come first serve free golf cart. And so they get really excited and start cussing and stuff, and it's super funny.
And it's on Sally's show. Yeah, I'm talking. Poor Silver Stacker. I mean, he's talking to me about a phone or something, and then you just hear me go, "Holy shit!" And then I go, "Clothes on." And I go out the door. So now, of course, Jim turns into rehash a little. Jim turns into a psycho and is like yelling like that. Not like mad yelling, but just like excited yelling. We sound like a bunch of crazy people.
Where was this at?
At the 1 hour 29-minute mark of Sally's video or hangout yesterday, the one that says "Oops, sorry" or whatever, that one that's titled. If you look at that one in your history, is that one at the 1 hour 29-minute mark?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's hilarious.
You and Sally, like Sally went to go to the bathroom or whatever, and you went to go eat your omelets or whatever. So it's just me and this Todd sitting there talking about this princess phone or whatever. Anyway.
1 hour and 29. Hold on. 1 hour.
You're selling suspenders, huh? I have a couple of pairs of those that I need to list. I just haven't yet.
Yeah, that's true, Todd. It sounds like a redneck family reunion.
Everybody get to the golf cart.
That was pretty hilarious.
Laggers.
I don't know. Must be a brand.
Yeah, it's a brand of suspenders.
Oh.
I think it's actually Trafalgar's.
Like Trafalgar, like the square in England.
Yeah, I think so.
Trafalgar's?
Yeah, I think it's Trafalgar's.
I would say it wrong. Trafalgar's.
What? Okay, so you're like, holy shit! Get your clothes on, Brandon. What were you doing that happened?
Well, it was. I went on Facebook. On my Facebook feed, it was one of those like Vilas County rummage sale groups. This guy has this picture of this golf cart up, free, first come, first serve. So go, holy shit! I jump up. Brandon's sitting in his underwear. I'm like, get your clothes on, and you hear me go out the door to go get Jim going, and then it ensues from there.
We had to scramble the trailer and get right over there and get it. But I also put on our channel, on the YouTube channel, I put a video of the golf cart too, because I don't know how to post pictures on this thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Well, you don't have any chairs, but you could lay down to drive it and just.
Why are you gonna put boat seats on it?
Oh, you're gonna put what on it?
Boat seats, like flip up boat seats we got.
Yeah.
And then Jim's going to build a box on it. Obviously, I think it was in a crash or something because that would have a permanent roof. That's a G1. I think they probably rolled it and cracked up that fiberglass body there or something. But
or you could put a recliner on it. That'd be cool.
Well, it's right over the top of the engine, though, so I don't know. You'd be pretty high if you found a recliner to that.
No, it would vibrate. Dusty might be onto something.
You would still have to put it on with duct tape. Then we would be totally red-green.
And I'll put some gull wing doors on it, too.
So does it run? I'm looking at your video now, but I don't have the sound on. Does it run?
No, it don't run. Well, I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to pull the carburetor off and clean it, and it's got old skank gas in it. I think it just sat for a long time, though. It's complete. Nobody's mucked with it or took anything off of it, so it looks like it just probably needs a carb cleaning and fresh gas.
And it's like a Yamaha snowmobile engine, which I will say Jim has a lot of experience working with Yamaha snowmobile engines.
They did the same. Yamaha did the same engines in the snowmobiles as they did in the golf carts.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this video when I can turn the sound on because I'm trying to figure out why you drove your van onto a board.
Oh, because he's fixing that one.
Oh.
It's Jim's garage. He is a redneck. He works out in the driveway.
That's more things I'm usually working on at once, but When you got free golf cart, you got to drop everything and do it.
Holy cow! And the Volkswagen Beetle, and wow, you got like everything going on.
Yeah, he just got that about like, did we get that a week ago? That was another Craigslist find. He's looking for free pallets. We need some pallets. And he finds this $400 Volkswagen Beetle. So again, that night, it was one of those, hurry up, get your clothes on. We're going to go buy this car now.
Okay, I can't hear the sound part of it, but I see the front clip laying there. Are you going to try to fix that or part it?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna fix it. It's got the radiator. I just put that silver thing in front's the new radiator.
Right,
but I'm
right.
for a module to come this week, and it's just easier to put the module in while everything's out. But honestly, with those Volkswagens, the first step is take everything off.
Yeah, you got to take that whole front clip off.
The whole front clip's got to come off, and it's held on by a bunch of fasteners, but it's really not hard. It's pretty Torx fasteners.
Okay, so was this wrecked or?
No, it's good.
Hole in the bottom of the radiator.
Okay, it's hard to tell because with the front clip off, it honestly makes the whole car look like it was wrecked.
Yeah, it looks like it was dropped off a building.
I can't hear the sound, so. Okay, so you took the front clip off just to do the radiator and do whatever. Gotcha.
Well, yeah, that's not an option. Just in case you ever run into one of these bugs. I mean, it's to do anything, you have to take the whole front clip off, basically.
Oh, it's our Jetta's like to get to. I forget what it even was. I think it was a thermostat that needs to be done or something. You like have to pull the alternator. You had to pull the alternator and drop the radiator and do all kinds of.
It's nuts.
I'm like, nope.
Take the front off the Volkswagen before you start working on it.
To change the spark plugs, because I'm like, well, while I'm in here, I'll change it. I'll put new plugs in it. Though they're on the top of the engine, there's 4 tubes, or intake tubes, or whatever. That whole upper aluminum manifold has to come off to change the spark plugs. Like, I guess I'll save that for a different, weekend project.
I was told the other day that if anything else happens to my van, I can't have it anymore.
Oh no!
Oh,
we didn't sell the old van yet.
He's tired of having to tear apart the whole thing inside.
We haven't sold the old van yet, which is good because now Jim broke the brake line on the red van and he's going to fix something else.
I'm Chad putting new rear wheel bearings in it.
Anyway, so now we're back to driving the old van.
Which runs great. We're driving all over the place. We used it to pick up the golf cart.
My husband said if I want a van.
So Jim, because he's pissed because everybody's trying to lowball offer him on it, so he took a picture of it parked up there. We stopped along the shore of Lake Superior. So he took a picture of Brandon and Lake Superior with the van so he could put in his next ad when he decides to put it back up for sale. Look where we drove it to.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 hour one-way drive there. So we had on the road 7 hours. Flawless.
Wow. Yeah, my husband told me if I still want a van, fine, but I won't get a van like that. I'll get it like a minivan.
You just fall off the couch, you idiot. Are you okay? What happened? What are you looking at me like?
Gee, that's ridiculous.
But we're looking at buying an enclosed trailer. When he buys his new truck.
Yeah.
We're thinking about buying an enclosed trailer so that for me, so that
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice. I like the van because it's good to take the kid to school and like we drop our boxes off at the post office in the afternoon, so it's good for that kind of stuff.
Oh,
What the hell is that?
It's a shark and it's gonna make out with you.
Oh boy.
I'm so glad. I'm
Yeah.
so glad I did my package shipping yesterday.
You know, it's a shame we don't live closer together, Jim, because I think you and my husband will get along so good.
Maybe they'd bring out the worst in each other though, Nikki. That's what me and Jim say about like junk. We're probably not good to be married because now we're almost like addicts, we're at like this addiction, where you never can really break the cycle then.
When Dusty said if I want something, I'll either buy it or keep talking about it. See, that's our problem is no, we just buy it. There is no talk, only buy. Yeah. Like we go buy. It's like I don't know what the hell. How do we?
One time I get up in the morning, he's like, "Okay, well, we got to go wherever." Yeah, I accidentally bought a motorcycle. I'm like, "Well, you don't accidentally buy a motorcycle. It's not an accident."
Because if you don't figure in your bills, you actually have a lot of free cash laying around. You know, if you don't factor in the fact that you got upcoming bills, just use that money to go
Oh my
impulsively buy the
God!
thing
Don't
you want.
say that.
And then you got to scramble to make the money to pay the bill. It's awesome. And then you start hating yourself for buying the thing that you bought. It's a circle. It's a cycle.
Well, it motivates you to make a lot of money. To spend all the money you got.
I just figured
You're
out
gonna
I need
have
something.
somebody's gonna say like something like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. What horrible advice."
Oh, it's not good advice. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't copy us. We're horrible people. Don't do what we do.
You do wind up with a lot of fun stuff, though. Do
You
it.
do.
Seriously, do it.
Now that my kids no longer live in the house, I'm a lot less responsible. And yeah, I've always been very cheap and everything, and trying to save
Yeah.
But the older I get, you think, okay, well, what am I saving for? To
Yeah.
die?
Get one kick in the can, so
Yeah,
enjoy it while we're down here.
exactly. So yeah, we've been spending a lot more money lately than we normally do because usually I research stuff
And when you die, your kids can sell it for their inheritance.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear that big thump before? That was
Oh, Jet. Just kidding. I'll be right back.
Get your clothes on.
Get your clothes on.
At least she was telling her little boy to get his clothes on, not Jim.
Yeah, I know Jim is outside now. And I like Brandon because he's like, come on, really?
But I don't want to put my clothes on.
What time was that at?
I don't know. It must have been like maybe around 10 or 10:30. It was after Valerie was done with her show, and we were into Sally's show for like an hour or so. So maybe 11:30.
Huh.
And it was posted for an hour. Honestly, I'm shocked it was still there. Like I
Yeah.
said, I can't believe it. Because I mean, where this area I live in, I mean, there's a bunch of like snaggly old junk pickers around here. I mean, I can't believe we got this time.
It was meant to be yours.
I guess.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, even though I didn't have very many, I think I had 5 packages to get ready. I was so ready to go to sleep last night, but I thought, nope, got to get my shipping done, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow.
Yeah, we didn't do shit for shipping yesterday, so now we got to work on it today. Well, maybe Jim shipped a little bit yesterday, but not a lot. We were bad. We were irresponsible.
I mean, I can always the post office is just right up the street, so I could always walk it up there and take it up there to them. But who wants to do that?
Yeah.
I don't want to put my pants on.
Yes, we got to go now.
And here the guys thought they were the only ones walking around with no pants on.
As long as you're sitting, nobody has to know.
That's right. Mr. Sadie says, I may have forgot to mention, but I caught a 19-pound bass on Sunday. What the heck?
Is he getting it mounted? That's my question.
Oh.
Wow.
Are you getting it mounted, Mr. Sadie? Oh, it was 7 pounds.
Oh.
But you know how us fishermen are. Yeah. I know.
But still, 7-pound bass, that's good too.
Yeah. It's a good sized fish. And when you mount it, you can have them put extra stuffing in there so it looks bigger.
There you go. And you live in Texas, so everything looks bigger, right? Oh,
There you go.
Mr. Sadie
Missouri.
doesn't.
There you go.
Mr. Sadie doesn't live in Texas. He lives in St. Louis. I'm sorry. He lives in Missouri.
Missouri. Or Missouri.
Missouri. Yep. My dad always used to say it. He's from Missouri, so he always used to say Missouri. I was like, it's not. It has an I at the end.
That's how they say it in the Outlaw Josie Wales, too. I think they say it in Missouri.
I have teeth. Stalker mount me.
Silver Hair Stacker says we don't allow 7-pound bass in Texas. Too small. Oh.
Oh, crap.
We don't even really have largemouth bass up here where I'm at. We got smallmouths, but rarely do you see largemouth up here.
Huh.
Maybe it's too cold. I don't know.
Might be.
There's
Well,
this
guys. Oh, what? Sorry.
there's this lake called Pine Lake here in Wisconsin. It's somewhere, it's about an hour from me. Anyways, it's like on these back ass country roads that you got to turn and turn and turn and turn and you got to walk through the woods to get it. And there's so many bass in that lake. I mean, you just throw your line out there and bam, you got them. And it's so much fun catching them because they go up out of the water into the air, you know, and they're just so much fun. And sometimes we just go down there just to fish that catch and release and just to enjoy that because it's so much fun to catch, you know.
I never did much bass fishing. I mean, I've hooked into them, but I always like doing going for muskies and northern stuff like that.
Yeah, I like walleye fishing.
Yeah, walleyes.
I figure if I'm going to clean the fish, it's going to be worth it.
I don't clean fish.
I don't
That's
either.
why
My
now
husband
if I
does.
catch fish, I'll go back in the lake because I refuse to clean fish. And Jim don't clean fish either.
Well, my husband doesn't either. He fillets them.
Yeah.
Good morning, Angela.
Where's Jim?
He went
Jim.
outside.
Jim of Terra fame.
He went outside. He'll be back. He's probably getting something.
We used to catch huge redfish in my bass fishing.
Has anybody ever seen the YouTube video where that guy like has a piece of bait that he dangles off a pier, he lays on his belly, and then he has that huge bass come and bite his hand and he pulls it out?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
That's something that I've always wanted to do is noodle.
No way. I'm
Oh,
Hell no.
Hell no.
No?
I don't stick my hands in holes or I don't know what's in there.
Out here it might be okay, but down in the south, hell no. They've got too much shit down there that'll kill you.
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't have big catfish and stuff like they got down there though.
oh, geez.
You ain't gonna noodle for a muskie or you're gonna have a bunch of pinholes in your arm.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, that would be horrible.
Jack says he said, I know someone that lost some fingers from a snake bite while noodling. Not a chance would I do it. Yeah, you're probably right.
Thrift Daddy asked if anybody ever sells action figures and lots. Takes forever to research. I usually go through, like if it's, I don't know, whatever, like He-Man. I wouldn't really lot of He-Man, but let's say that, for instance, if I wasn't familiar with, I'd go and I'd look at which ones are worth the most, make sure I didn't have those, and then once you're to that point where you're pretty certain they're all more common, yeah, absolutely, lot them up. I'm all about lotting everything up, to be honest. Any chance you get.
Unless there's one in there that's worth a lot of money. Like I've sold like Transformers, you got some that are broke or something like that. You lot them up and they do all right.
Now, I mean, on the flip side with action figures, though, I mean, it just depends on what they were worth individually. If individually it was whatever type they were worth. I mean, where they were worth $14.99 to, I don't know, maybe $19.99. I mean, if you use sell similar, problem is you'd have to know their names. But if it's something fairly simple where you can use sell similar and you're just taking pictures, changing the action figure's name and the title or whatever, and then where you could list quickly is what I'm saying. But if they're all loose, uncarded, and you're gonna have to figure out names on them and all that kind of crap, then it's probably not. At least it's just the accessories. Yeah, I would totally.
And the accessories do good lotted up. Like if it's like G.I. Joe, the guns and stuff like that, and lots do all right.
And usually the guns are where the money is.
Yeah, just put them in a lot. You'll do pretty good with them.
Silver Hair Stacker said, Dusty, you made a good deal on that trumpet. Thank you. That's the one I had messaged him about back when I posted a video last night, and what's funny is I was reading the comments this morning when I woke up, which was literally like 30 minutes ago. And the videos, I hate to say it, it's about 10 days old, and most of the stuff that I showed in there has already been listed and sold. Including the trumpet, which went for $261 and change. But it's funny though, you'll see in the comments people, and it sucks because I could have used all that help back then, if I'd have put the video up before I listed everything.
Did you sell the Japanese shoes?
Those I haven't even listed yet. And I knew they were Japanese or whatever. Eric actually helped me with those when I got home that night. He said they're probably geisha shoes, and we looked them up a little bit. And I don't think they're that old. I was kind of bundling stuff together when I was buying and just like, hey, how much for this whole pile? And so I thought, wow, those would be interesting to research. Nope, they're still over here in this clothes hamper full of stuff.
I saw a pair go for $30.
Yeah, that's what Eric said. Eric said, I think he said 30, but the straps broke on the wooden ones, but that still shouldn't make a ton of difference if they're older. I'm sure there's a geisha shoe repair shop somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, most everything else from that lot I've got listed, except the photos. Kind of taking my sweet time. I did a lot of photo of cabinet cards, but I didn't get around to the scientist photos and all that kind of stuff. I did list the big photos that were, and there's crazy money in banquet and dinner photos. Like, do you remember that one? Did I show that in that video, Nikki? Where all the people were in the lobby of the New Yorker hotel or whatever. If you have the right companies, I think, and from what I'm seeing, it appears to be obviously about content. It's a good company and a decent hotel, and obviously an old photograph. And some of those bring kind of crazy stupid money. But I did, I listed a bunch of stuff Saturday when I was on my roll. I guess it was Saturday. A bunch of stuff that was a pain in the butt. I keep a big sheet of plexiglass for like doing things that are curled up, like posters or like those photos and all that. So I dragged it out of the closet and I was like, okay, I'm going to get half blue ribbon poster listed. I'm going to list those big curled up photos, and I just slide them underneath that so they lay flat and take pictures. So you're not trying to hold things down with your fingers and take a picture at the same time. It's kind of like dragging the mannequin out. It's one of those things I hate to do. It's kind of why I hate clothing. If I had a spot set up where I could keep a dress former, I probably wouldn't hate clothing half as much.
What? Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Get your clothes on. We gotta go.
Oh, did she get a free thing again? Hope everything's okay.
Golly, yesterday was a horrible day. Everybody, Nikki, you were at the funeral thing, and
Yeah.
and Eric's had to put his dog down, and
Oh.
Jim Bennett. I call him. I'm like, well, crap, I want somebody to hang out. So I call him on his phone. He's like, I can't really talk. We're on our way to the emergency room. I'm like, dear God, man, what is everybody? Jason got married. I mean, everybody yesterday was having something horrible happening.
Wait, what happened to Eric's dog?
It had trouble eating and difficulty, but then it got worse, and fever and difficulty breathing, and he took it in, and I guess there was, I don't know if he knew about the cancer previously or something, but there was eaten up with cancer, and they just said, you know, that's.
Was it one of his big ones?
Yeah, it was Mason. I think that's his big one. I think it's a Great Dane, he said.
I think
Oh.
I
No.
thought Mason was his boxer.
I don't.
I could be wrong.
Hell, they're both huge.
True.
That's sad.
When he messaged me yesterday, he said, my Dane was not eating yesterday and now is running a high fever and is having trouble breathing and standing. And then the next thing I heard was a post on his Facebook page.
Okay.
So that sucks. So sorry, Eric.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that.
And then Jim's son was writing down the driveway, and the front of his scooter wheel got caught in the grate, and the kid just literally, his youngest, went over. I guess just went straight for it. His face was all, oh my gosh, it was awful. It just hurt me to look at it. His tooth went through his lip.
Mm.
They're not sure if he broke his nose or not because they're going to have to wait to do x-rays. I can't remember what the final outcome was. And then they were x-raying his hand on top of that.
Mm.
Which their kids aren't rambunctious, but I'm going to tell you what, my mom raised 3 boys and 1 girl, and 3 boys is a I mean, of course, we were kind of into everything. His kids are really well behaved, though. They're a lot more well behaved than my brothers and I were. But you know, boys are still going to be boys, well behaved or not. What did he tell me? I don't remember what the.
My brother had 4 boys, and they were boys.
His nose can't be looked at for 4 to 5 days because of the swelling.
Oh, I saw the picture, poor guy.
And at that age, I guess, you know, they don't give them pain meds, so it's like, here, take a Tylenol. You know, I don't. If I was that age, I'd be like, no, give me something better than that. I started to call you, Scott. So Tristan wasn't feeling great yesterday, and then we just all kind of had a down day. It was like, okay, it's Memorial Day. We don't have to do anything. The mail's not running, whatever. And nobody wanted to go with me, so I don't think she knows I even left. I went down the road to the Chinese buffet, and I ate because they have like mussels, and they have sushi, and they have crawfish, but that's a little bit, crawdads off of a Chinese buffet. That's just a little sketchy. I ate like 1, and they were kind of like, ugh. But I probably ate, it's $9.99 for dinner because it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon for their dinner buffet. And I probably ate $25 worth of mussels and the good sushi. And they kept bringing me they usually when they think you're done there, they'll just quit refilling your glass. But they kept refilling my glass.
Huh.
It was nice. I just sat and had lunch by myself and went to the buffet. I think went up 4 times or 5 times.
Wow.
Like huge plates. Yeah, they didn't make any money on that $9.99.
Cheaty day.
And they're the big old mussels too that are, they're so good.
Yeah, they look really good.
I don't even know if I like those or not. I don't think I've ever tried them.
Like an oyster, but less slimy, kind of ish. Same.
Never tried an
family-ish.
oyster either.
Actually, not slimy at all with mussels, really.
I can't eat oysters. Yeah. But I eat mussel.
There's really nothing to compare them to.
They're a little grizzly tasting, like texture wise. Not as grizzly as like octopus or something, but
Yeah.
or squid, but they're a little grizzly. Like I said, I don't usually like anything with that texture, but I like mussels, so they're not as bad as like.
Jack Smack wants to know if you eat them with hot sauce. I don't, but I tell you what I did, because this is just the way I do sushi anyhow. I take the little cups they have and I put soy sauce in it, and then I put a bunch of wasabi in it, and I stir it up and make kind of like a soy sauce wasabi mixture. And since I already had that for my sushi, I just dip the mussels in it, which isn't really probably the right way to do it, but I like that soy sauce wasabi mixture. So they have a gazillion different sauces up on the thing, and I just usually just stick with soy sauce mixed with wasabi. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I'm back. They found my kid, so
Is he lost?
I don't know. They like the school system. Like first they call, then they send you a text message and leave a message that please, if your kid's absent, call it in. We dropped him off at school this morning. So Jim's like, I can't get a hold of anybody. We're going to school. Because he's like, of course you think right away, oh, your kid's been snatched or something. But then they figured it out and he was there.
Hey, thanks for losing my kid. That restores my faith in your school.
Yeah, which I watched. I was with this morning when he dropped him off. I mean, I watched our kid walk up to the crossing guard, which is right in front of the doors of the school. I'm like, how do you get lost between there and there? I don't know what happened, but.
And one time, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she was always very, very tall for her age, and she had really blonde, long, thick, just gorgeous curly hair. She still has it, and I mean, she didn't look like your normal kindergartner. Is what I mean to say. She wasn't small like them, and like I said, she had that beautiful hair. And one time I took them to the I put her in that charter school. It was like a free private school kind of thing, and they called me one day and about her being absent, and I said no, she's there. And she goes, no, I checked, she's not here. And I was like, oh my God. So I was freaking out because you took her to school that day, and and so they couldn't find her there, and sure enough, she was there, and I was like, really, you couldn't pick her out of the class? I mean, she's not, she wasn't your normal, like I said, kindergartner. She was way tall, and she probably looked like she was probably in second grade, But yeah, I was ticked. I was like, I went there and I found her, and it's like, how could you guys not tell she was here?
Yeah, and when you get a call like that, I mean, the worst thought comes into your mind. Oh my God, some molester is taking my child or something like that.
Yeah. And then the last problem was the next time they called and about her being absent, and then they called back again because I was at work, so I didn't answer it right away. They called back again and they said, oh, never mind, we found her. Well, she was absent that day, and she was at my mother-in-law's house. And so I called my husband. I said, what the hell, your mom sent Brandy to school? And I said, she doesn't think I can say when my kid needs to stay home or what? She was eating fruit or whatever with grandma. And he says, I just talked to her. And so I called the school back, and she goes, no, we found her, everything's good. And I was like, how did you find her? She's sitting at my mother-in-law's house. Oh no, I went and talked to her myself. I was like, you freaking liar. I was like, I did talk to Brandy. You know? Like, oh, I was just pissed. I was like, you're lying to me. You know? I mean, seriously, what if this was, what if I didn't know she was at my mother-in-law,
Yeah.
Oh, I was ticked. God, she like completely lied to me. I was like, no, that's enough. She's getting out of this school. Go put her in public school. I do too. I was gonna have her in Catholic school, but the priest ticked me off at the Catholic school because the one that was there then. Because my dad has done all the work for the church for their boilers for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Okay. And my brother at the time was plowing their snow for free, mowing their lawns for free because he had a company that he did that, And and my friend who had been on welfare her whole life and everything else, she always got a free ride at the Catholic school. Well, I was looking at like a discount. I wasn't looking for free, but I was looking, I should get a discount.
Yeah.
Because my family does all this shit for the school for free,
Yeah.
And they wouldn't give me a discount. He's like, well, do you really need a discount?
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Because my dad has money, but I don't, you know?
Yeah.
I was just pissed because my dad kept telling me, put him in school, put her in school, Catholic school, And I was just pissed. He wouldn't give us a discount. I was like, what the hell, And I always did stuff for the church too, I always worked all the dinners and helped out anywhere I could, I mean, I was like, really, this person and this girl that I knew who was on welfare, she never even went to that church.
Yeah.
School, and she totally gave her a free ride. They still get a free ride. All of her kids, every single one of her kids, she had like 5 kids. They all got a free ride. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I went to Catholic school 1st through 8th grade, and then I went to a regular school.
Yeah. And my dad gives a lot of money to the church, always has. A lot of money. And it's like, really? You can't give me a discount, really?
Yeah.
Well, no, because he probably thought, well, I could just have Grandpa pay for it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they want to like take like is it like 8% of your yearly income or whatever? They say they have a like a breakdown for how much you should donate to the church or whatever. Or it may even be like 10%.
Yeah, I think it's like 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had this one Catholic church, a friend of mine, they stopped going to it because they sent them a letter saying that if they didn't put more into the church, that they would be asking them to leave the congregation.
Really?
Like, really?
Huh.
I've never heard of that before, but yeah, I guess this church is so money hungry they do stuff like that.
Well, I suppose if you're on the envelope system, because if you just go to the church, you just throw in money, just empty cash. But if you're on the envelope system, they know exactly what you donate, and then they give you at the end of the year, you get your tax.
Yeah. I've never been on the envelope system. I told them, no, I don't want you knowing how much I'm giving you.
No, I wouldn't want it. I never was. Our family was, but I don't actively go to church anyway.
Yeah. Nope, I just give cash in the basket.
Yeah. I didn't care for the Catholic church that was here in my area, really. I didn't like, they were kind of, it's like he's falling away from being, it's like a meeting room. They built a new church and they like took down, they had beautiful antique church and they took down they got rid of all the Catholic symbols that you expect to see in a church. It looks just like a benign, empty room. It's like run by a bunch of hippies or something. Nothing against hippies, but you have a little bit of a turn in the Catholic church that way, and I kind of fell away from it.
Yeah, that's good.
Hippies are okay. I don't like hippies.
How is Jim Catholic and a Shriner?
Well, the Masons don't care what religion you are. You just have to believe in God. But Catholics want you to be Knights of Columbus and not Mason. Now, Jim is was raised Catholic. He went to Catholic school, but I'd say he sort of fell away from the church too. And then his mom got mad at the priest for something when he was an altar boy. And then did you guys become like Bible church or what?
Yeah,
do
but
they
then my
call it?
wife, then Amy was Catholic. My two first kids are baptized Catholic, so she wanted to be a member of the Catholic Church. So I did ask the priest. I said, "Is it okay if I'm a Mason?" Oh no, you really shouldn't do that. I thought, you know what? Actually, the Masons are a lot nicer than you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Because the Masons are like, yeah, anybody can join. We got no problem with the Catholics. It's just they don't allow you to join our club. And I asked him, I thought, well, this is ridiculous. He says, nope, it's a papal edict. Nope, you can't do it. I'm like, you know what? Go screw yourself.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's some kind of antiquated papal edict.
But they just re-upped it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they won't let it go. So I'm like, well, if you're going to be that stupid, people are going to break your rules.
Yeah.
It probably goes back to like the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages.
I really don't think at the Golden Gates, St. Peter's going to say, you know what, you were in a club we don't recognize, so you're not allowed.
Exactly.
Or we're not going to allow Lutherans, Church of England, Muslims, Jew, this whole other list of only Catholics who, abide by this doctrine are allowed in. I really don't think that's going to happen. So.
Well, that's like my dad's buddies give him crap because he always goes and helps the Shriners out selling their brats and stuff.
Do they sell onions?
I thought the other day because you asked that the other day, and I never saw him sell onions. But the other day I was driving by this gas station and I saw the Shriners selling Vidalia onions.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I gotta tell Jim they do sell them up here.
There's a huge farm in Georgia where they do. I mean, that's all the onions. This whole farm, that's all they do is grow onions for the Shriners to sell. The Shriners are their only customer.
Yeah. No, the Knights of Columbus group, they go over and help the Shriners sell at the grocery store when they have it going on.
We never did since I was in Lodge because the Knights of Columbus here have pretty much folded up. But yeah, I heard guys talking. Yeah, they'd have dinners together and stuff like that in the old days with the Knights of Columbus. So
yeah.
It's like birth control. Do you really think Catholics aren't using birth control? I mean, use your head.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know. My dad, Mr. Catholic, one time I said for my 30th birthday I was going to get my tubes tied. And my dad's like, what? Because of my health having a hysterectomy. So hysterectomy. But I'm sure God's not going to send me to hell for that.
No, that's man's rules, not God's rules, my opinion.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in the Catholic religion. There's quite a few things that I just don't agree with. But because the Catholic religion is just so old. I mean, back in the day, yeah, you could be fruitful and multiply because you could afford it, because everybody lived off the land. But nowadays, you can't afford to have more than a couple kids,
Yeah. Yeah, and mom didn't have to go work out an outside job and stuff.
Exactly.
Taking care of the house and kids, so.
Exactly.
Now you're also building your customer base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to go. Where's the plastic? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure God changes with the times.
Okay, we shouldn't talk about religion too much, so
Probably not.
That's like talking about politics.
Let's talk about that Clinton lady and Trump.
Well, Valerie will end up on the next video.
Yeah.
Can you all see me?
Yeah, and we can hear you too.
Okay, well that's good. That's a plus.
Okay.
It's like we're getting extras today because we can hear you and see you.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
awesome.
bonus. Then we heard that too.
Yeah. Well, if Eric is watching, I'm really sorry about your dog.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
it's sad. We've had lots of dog trouble these last couple of months between all of us,
Yeah.
Are we talking about Eric's dog or something happened to your dog?
Eric's dog.
Oh yeah, Yeah, it's hard when you have to lose one.
I wonder how that goes with his son.
Yeah,
Probably not easy.
all tore
Yeah.
out.
We lost a dog this fall, and I mean, my kid was horribly broke up about it. I mean, I didn't know if he'd ever get over it. Now he's pretty good, but it's hard.
Yeah.
We had to go out to the gravesite. We had a rock on top of where he buried him and go pay. He like, Dad, can you come with me and pay honor to Caesar? You know, so we got to go to this rock. I let him draw in magic marker, you know, Caesar on the stone. So we'd have to go stand out there and like meditate for a couple minutes over the dog's grave. I'm glad he's past that.
No, but he'll bring it up. Like this spring, he's like, let's go visit Caesar's grave.
Poor kid.
It's hard. It's hard on you as an adult, but with death, you've dealt with death. But when you're a kid, you haven't really had death touch you. It's really hard.
And the dog he was a min pin. He was super mischievous, but he was super affectionate. He'd like get up on you and lick your face all the time. You know, he always wanted you to like, he whimpers, so you'd pick him up and pet him and stuff. He's very affectionate. So it made you kind of miss him more than, not that I don't miss any dog that passes, but I mean, this one was extra, you know, clingy, you know, so it's like I would get kind of like a tight thing in my throat thinking about it. I think it was a feeling.
You had a feeling?
Yeah, I think I had a feeling. It went away.
Well, it's like my nephew, he's got 2 cats. And I usually don't like cats in the house, you know, whatever. I like cats, other people's cats or whatever. And I love to play with cats, but I don't have any in my house. But these cats are at my nephew's. And these cats are the coolest things ever. Don't cuddle them, they cuddle the kids. I walked into the bedroom and little Miss Aaliyah, my little niece, she's only 4. She's laying in bed with watching her iPad, and the cat's got his arm around her. You know, she didn't have her arm around the cat. He had her arm around her, and he's all rubbing on her and stuff. I mean, these cats I stayed there for like a week when they went to Florida and watched the kids so they could go to school too and schedules. And these cats, I'm just telling you, when I was sleeping, I mean, one cat was like right up on the side of my face, and I mean, they're just super cats. They're so cute. And they're just fun.
Yeah.
But I've never seen cats like that before, you know? And yeah, my nephew goes, yeah, the cats are crazy. I've never seen anything like it. They cuddle the kids and everything.
That's how this dog was. Well, anyway, and this the dog got tagged by a car. That happened. We live on a rural road, and I couldn't break him of going across the road. So I went out looking for him at night. I wake Jim up. I'm like, Jim, I found him. You got to go get him on the side of the road. He's like, why do I got to go get him? I'm like, that's why I married somebody, so that they have to for me.
That's right.
That's why I have a husband for.
That's a husbandish rule.
Yeah, that is definitely a husband job.
Yeah, it's the middle of the night. I'm out there with a snow shovel. Yeah, that was fun.
I know when I got to do something that I expect my husband to do, I'm like, I should have never spoiled him and let him know that I could do stuff, you know?
That is the key right there.
Yeah.
Is sometimes you just have to play dumb.
Yeah.
And
I do with all the time. Like if you get pulled over or something, act really stupid, and they'll usually let you off without writing you a speeding ticket.
Yep.
Yeah, like I could just pretend that I don't know how to do something when my husband wants me to do it, and
you guys think
then
we actually fall for all that, and we're not stupid.
he ends up doing it. I don't know. He does.
But you're so much. But you're so much better at it. And I'll just look at it and be like, horse crap. No, you're gonna do it.
But you're the big strong man.
It's like, sorry, that quit working about 15 years ago.
That's why I don't like him to come to the store, because then he sees me working, and he knows that I can actually do shit.
I'm not sexist, but there's jobs men should do. Pick up dead animals, fix stuff, that kind of stuff. You know, pick up heavy stuff.
Right.
My husband knows it's his place to set the mousetrap.
Yep.
You know, there's just certain things he knows that he has to do.
Yeah.
He has to vacuum out every spring. He has to vacuum out the windowsills of the June bugs. I think they're disgusting.
June bugs are gross. I agree with you on that.
June bug.
He's like, they're dead. I'm like, I don't care. You still
I
have
don't
to clean
care. I want nothing to do with them.
they might come back to life or something, you know.
Jim's job: get rid of snakes, bugs, pick up dead animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you guys talk about June bug, you ever see that movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? The Jamie Foxx brothers did it. Remember June bug? He had too many gold chains. Oh no, June bug!
Or like when the septic backed up in the basement, that was husband's
That's
job.
a man job. Yes. Yes, Jim had to unclog our toilet one time because our kid was flushing Pop-Tart wrappers down it, which was clogged up your pipe, by the way. So he was out there with this like snake and water thing, you know. That is definitely a man job.
Yep.
That was a shitty job.
Yeah.
Remember that one time our septic froze and it backed up into the basement? Oh my god, that was so cool.
Yeah, that's a man job.
He didn't even look at me though. He went down and did it. He knew his place.
I was taking care of my elderly family member, so we went over to his house and he had something like that happen, but because of the pressure, he had a septic field that blew the plug off of the back of the pipe in the basement, and Jim had to clean that one up too. And he wasn't even married to him.
That's terrible.
I took wood pallets and I put them down there because there's 3 inches of surge, so I could walk on the pallets so my feet weren't actually in the sludge.
Anyway, that's a man job.
I can't remember it clearly because I blocked it out of my memory.
When I worked at the corporate hog farm, we had these grates, rubber grates, Morton. And well, in my barn, it was the new barn. Well, there was this one pen that they didn't have enough S hooks to hook on these grates.
Yeah.
The pigs would start rutting them up, and they would drop down into where all the poop and pee went. So every once in a while, when they do that, I'd have to go down and wrestle the pigs in that. Oh, is that? I'd be waist deep in pig poop and pee. Oh my god!
That is
I'd come out and I'd go get in the shower, take my clothes off. My whole lower half of my body was nothing but just beet red from all that irritant, you know. Oh my god, it was horrible.
And pig poop, whatever it is, you never truly get that smell off of yourself. You know what I mean? It's just kind of
no. When I worked in the hog farm, it was so gross because I would shower in, shower out. I shower when I get home. Got that smell out of my hair ever. Yeah. I tried a million things to get, and every once in a while when I'd be brushing my hair or something, I mean, it wasn't real strong. You could get a whiff of it. And if me and my husband were getting a little, personal, you'd be like, man, your hair is
like pig shit, honey.
Down the tubes we go.
I was gonna say, do you and your husband try I don't know, some interesting different positions or something where you have to go close to your hair?
Yeah. You have to stay away from the hair.
Words are like poetry. You smell like pig shit. We used to go to state. And my mom had a sensitive stomach to smell, and she couldn't go in where they have the show pigs because even just the smell of those, and they're all washed up, and that it would make her throw up. It would make her nauseous.
Yeah, I'd always worry when I go to a fancy dinner or something if I stunk, because. But my husband said it wasn't really that bad. It just. Every once in a while,
you say to you, Nick,
not really that bad.
Make you reek of pig shit. He's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, honey, it's not that bad."
Hey, Nick, if you were trying to one-up me, or if you're trying to one-up me on the thing with the backed up story, you did it.
Yeah.
I'll give you credit. I couldn't look at it.
Huh?
I feel bad when you go through like Smith and they have the Genio Turkey Factory, and they move those turkeys like just down the road a little bit, and those semis and all the little heads are hanging out and stuff like that, because they know it's going to happen.
Yeah. I try not to think of it.
Yeah.
Well, we're stuck in a train because they got a railroad cars go through there. So we got this whole damn by. So we're stuck in traffic by the Genio plant, and you got all these semis, the tractor or trucks, and the turkeys can stick their heads out the sides. They're in these cages where so they're all looking at us. I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. Can't we go out and just save one?
Yeah. This one truck driver, they all knew that they didn't get to use a hot shot in my barn. Because I got the pigs going and I'd get them going and they didn't need a hot shot. But some of those truck drivers, they would just use those hot shots just to use them,
Yeah.
And they all knew not to use it. This one, he started using a hot shot. I said, put that sucking thing away or I'm going to break your goddamn fingers.
Yeah.
And he's like, who are you? And I said, nobody uses a hot shot in this barn. I said, you don't need it. I said, just step back. I'll get the pigs loaded. Just step back,
Yeah.
Step back and I'll get the pigs loaded.
Step back and I'm going to get them loaded.
Of course, one time, one of my helpers had forgotten to shut, because I'd get all the pigs loaded out of their room, out of their pens and out of their rooms into each hallway, and I'd shut each hallway door so that they were ready to go, Well, one of my helpers had forgotten to shut the door after he started loading them, and all of a sudden, the whole four hallways full of pigs had started coming back on me, and they started trampling me, and they ended up pushing me over, and I slammed my hand. I had a watch on my hand at the time, and they slammed me into the wall so bad the face of my watch broke, and when I took my watch off, there was a big bruise. The face of my watch had made on my arm. That's how bad they trampled me. Oh man, that was horrible.
So you had to get them all out in the hall and then close the doors?
Yeah. Yeah. It was terrible. They had a new guy, and yeah, I was like, oh shit. It ended up, these were like 80 to 100 pound pigs,
Did you ever have to get rid of a dead body and feed it to the hogs, Nikki?
No. I did, although they wouldn't allow me to, they wanted to save money, so they, so with I'm not going to tell you what they wanted to do with the small pigs, but the bigger pigs that you couldn't do that with, you had to hit them in between the eyes with a hammer.
Yeah.
A ball-peen hammer to kill them. And I couldn't do it. And so what I would do is I would keep all my sick pigs until the vet came, because the vet would come once a month. So I'd keep all my sick pigs and I'd hand water them and everything, make sure that they weren't suffering or anything, There, I'd save them all up in a pen and wait for him, because then he'd be like, oh, that one has to go, that one has to go. And he would give them injections, so that they just go to sleep. So I kind of did that.
Let it happen.
Oh, really? That one has to die? Oh, and here's the whole pen of them. The vet knew what I was doing.
Oh my.
Makes you want to eat bacon.
Oh,
A few of them that I had hand watered them and stuff like that. And I ended up bringing them back. They didn't have to be killed,
But they got killed eventually.
Well, eventually, but yeah.
Don't ruin her story. Just feel
It was never a happy ending,
It's
but
a happy ending, but all pigs die. They all
it was happy for me because I got to see them go on to wherever they were going.
Yeah, on a semi truck to the Patrick Cudahy plant.
Well, mine were going on to another farm. They were going on to finishing.
Finishing.
So,
Nikki thought it was finishing school, but little.
yeah. I didn't know what they were finishing, but made it a little easier for me. Yeah, these pigs were supposed to go out at like 50 pounds. And they were so behind that I ended up keeping them until they were between 80 and 100 pounds.
Huh.
Some of them I had brought out at 120 pounds. They were they were too big for even finishing. So
Huh.
but I enjoyed that job. I loved it, but I ended up not being able to breathe. It ended up affecting my breathing and stuff because of all the dust.
Yeah.
And when you live down in those farming communities, they don't like people that are into hog farms, corporate hog farms, because the corporate hog farms put all the smaller farmers out of business. You know,
Yeah.
we rented this farm from this guy, this old guy, and we were talking to his son that one day, and he says, "Well, you're already renting from us, so I won't hold it against you." He said, "But if I would have known ahead of time, you would not have rented this farm."
Huh.
Yeah, he was real. And I kind of snickered, and he's like, "I'm not kidding." I was like, "Whoa!" I was like,
Huh.
because I'm from the city, you know, I didn't understand all that stuff, you know, and
Hmm.
to me, I was like, "Sorry, it's just a job," you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap the
On
show
that
up
note,
for the day.
Yeah,
on our pig kill, we're gonna end the show.
can't bring
Hope
the show
everyone has a
anymore,
great
can I?
day and has lots of sales. I've got 4 so far,
Cool.
so
Nice.
This is gonna be
Get me
Today?
some.
I'm sending my mojo, my tom tom.
good.
All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.